It's the Bennington Show on a Thursday. We are less than 24 hours away from doing Comedy 101 live on Opie Radio, 8:30 tomorrow morning. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I am Ron Bennington. Now, the excitement level of Comedy 101 is just through the roof. But first, opening song. Chris, who picked it?
Gail Bennington picked that song.
Bennington? Yes, Vito.
Ron Bennington picked that.
And now Joey Jojo for the tiebreaker.
Ron Bennington.
Come on, how do you guys not know Gail after all this time?
I did. I knew.
Yes,
Aretha.
because you're not a leader. They should have been following you through. She's always bringing up early Aretha.
I know.
Before she sold out.
I know. And, I mean, do you think Ron Bennington's going to say he wants a rough lover?
Yeah.
That's private.
I'm not saying I don't want a cream puff daddy. That's not my way. All right, Obama's on TV and he's crying. I don't know what exactly happened, but I hope he's not saying the end is near.
Oh.
And he goes, I'm coming to you as the last president of the United States of America.
What?
Now we would like to show you some clips of how great this country was before we sign off for the very last time. Excitement level about Comedy 101, crazy, nuts. I think we'll jump into it big time. Tomorrow, a friend of mine checked it out. Says funniest thing that you've ever seen.
It was so much fun, and I've been listening back just to a couple clips, not all the way through, and there's so much stuff that I forgot because every second there was a joke. It was crazy.
Voss and Bonnie, Slade, Robert Kelly is a comedic axe murderer. I mean, just every line, one after another. Bonnie, there's so many funny lines
I know.
that she got off. I don't want to give away my favorite, but it has to do with condo sales. And I'll just leave it at that. That was a line that I would never have thought of that. I always like a line that I say I would never thought of it in a million years. You could give me forever with it. And then Voss is, he is the dean. He is the dean of New York crowd work. Don't think that's catching on, but I like it.
I like it.
I like it a lot. I like it.
I like it.
That's our own Spencer Berger came up with that line, but he hasn't stuck with it, has he?
No,
he hasn't.
In fact, anytime I referenced it to him, he looked confused, but I was like, but that was your line.
Is he in today?
No, Coach is in today.
All right, well, we got to bring Coach in and shave her head.
Come on in, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, you messed up.
Sorry, Coach.
We got to take the hair today, Coach. There's nothing we can do about it. A bet is a bet is a bet is a bet.
Coach, where's that goddamn hair?
I'm glad to see the Coach in long pants today. She looks like an adult.
Finally.
Hey, Coach.
Coach, the other day you chose against the United States of America, and I took U.S. soccer. You took Argentina. You gave me 5 goals, and that means it's 5-4. Now we're going to do male pattern baldness shave in her head.
Can I get a straight shave down the middle?
Yeah, of course.
So I can just, part it over.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's smart. I like a girl with a comb over. Coach, were you actually cheering as your country was being beat, the United States? And Messi, the little diver, the little cheater.
Piece of garbage.
Who's he playing in the finals against?
I believe
won
we're
last
playing Chile.
Chile?
Oh, against Colombia yesterday.
They were playing last night, I think, in Chicago. Now, where's the finals at, Chris?
In Chicago?
Still?
I thought it was in New Jersey.
Oh, I'm going to find out.
Well, you just hoped out of all, because one game was there, they could all be there?
Yes.
No,
Why does he lie so?
Well, it's fun. It's fun to lie. That way, when you're a sociopath, you feel superior to everyone else.
Most other people can hear this, right?
You don't know. People that also have computers. They can look stuff up.
MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
Jersey. Correct.
So close.
That's exciting. We should all go. I would like to get Coach to throw out the first pitch.
That's not a thing in soccer.
What? I thought it was that way in every sport.
No.
If we bring Jordan back to throw out the first pitch...
Oh, the place will go nuts.
I'll go crazy.
Jordan!
I'll just start screaming, Jordan! I've worn your shoes. I love them. And the underwear that are a little more boring. Remember when your dad was killed? It was awful. I cried with you. And then when you failed at baseball, fucked up, right? Jordan! Did that hurt? Jordan! You're just like 3 feet away from him. You were really good on the Bulls. And then that 92 Olympic team. Dream team! Yes, he's right. Dream team. Just fucking constantly just screaming dumb shit at the poor. Well, Jordan hasn't been able to go outside of his house without being annoyed in 30 years. 30 years before he could go out, get some milk without people annoying the shit out of him. You still talk to Scottie Pippen? And the worm got all those rebounds? Oh, boards! Oh, boards! He's just fucking like, I don't know, man. All that shit did happen a long time ago. Now I got a tiny little Hitler mustache. I'm just trying to relax.
Yeah, what's the deal with that mustache?
Is this bit still going on? I thought we were done.
What?
Oh, you used the cough after that. You're healthy now.
Yeah, 8 weeks.
By the way, he's the man in gray today. Gray shoes, gray pants, gray shirts. A great look for him.
Thank you. I mean, I'll just start buying gray jumpsuits.
You know what? You're the 50 shades of gray. You really are. If the guy wasn't into sex at all. Just
or at least not able.
Oh,
Hey,
shit!
Fuck that!
No, then prove it.
Fuck that.
Then prove it, Chris.
I'm getting hard right now.
We haven't look at our poor
Don't
coach.
listen to that. Dump out of that.
No, you know what?
Don't.
The
You know,
disgust-
Coach can't dump out of it. She's here.
She can't dump out of her own memory.
I wish we could.
Oh, God. I'd have no idea who that man was. Or what Sirius XM was. All right, it is the Bennington Show. Tomorrow is Comedy 101, but we're going to have some of the youngsters stop by today that Dan Perlman, the Cartoon King, really didn't explain how the show worked, too.
He claims that he did, and yet
He feels good about it. He feels good about the job that he did.
Why? Why
He
is he
feels.
But I was standing next to each one of them when they looked at me and said, "What the fuck? That's it? I don't get off any lines?" And I go like this, "I can't help you. I don't know much about this either."
This is why we don't meet you before.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of the uncomfortability. I just want to be here for the laughs. I don't want to see how the sausage is made. That grosses me out. But I like to eat the sausage. I like it. I like it. He doesn't remember Spencer Berger.
Why doesn't he remember?
Day
I
one.
like it. It was so good.
And he said, "This is going to be my catchphrase all summer."
Yeah, he did say that.
Gail, plug
He
some
says it
bitch in.
sometimes, I think.
Does he?
I think he just has to be reminded that it was his.
I don't know. There's something about you and him that the rest of us don't share that same kind of intimacy.
It's a bond.
You guys got close, quick.
This is like one of those summer
We're
camp
best friends.
movies, you know?
Oh, yeah. And these two, they're destined.
It's like the kids that get pranked together become best friends.
Oh, I wouldn't know. See, I wouldn't know that. I was invited to every party.
All of them?
And all the parties I was invited to.
Really?
2 of the parties I couldn't make, they canceled. They said, "Why have a party?"
God damn.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Hey, Bennington.
Yeah.
Ron, I was wondering if you happened to catch the first episode of Big Brother last night.
2 fucking hours.
Was it painful?
2 hours of meeting dude bros and a gay dude bro. And is baseball coach gay?
I
can't
feel
tell.
like-
they're trying to let
That
on that
was
he's gay.
very. There was a really weird line that he said something to the effect of, "Okay, this guy I like. He's a stud.
He's
He's
cut.
built. He's cut," and then said, "I feel like he's going to be perfect for a bromance."
Yeah. Now, a bromance is not the same as
No,
a romance.
a bromance. Normally, I didn't think that the other person had to be physically attractive.
So far, I only have one person that I like. By the way, do you know that the internet blew up on one of them with extreme hate? I think it trended. and it was the girl who's afraid of North Korea.
Oh, Michelle.
Because she... How do you remember her name? Because
you don't print out all their faces.
Oh, I don't have Michelle in front of me. Because she fat shamed. She's a nutritionist, and she said America's a bunch of lard-ass fatties.
Yeah.
Like to sit around and get fat.
She hates people who think it's okay to be fat.
They fucking exploded on this bitch. They went crazy on her. I only have one that I like. Do you have one that you even like yet?
I don't know if I like anyone so much as I have maybe one that I think will do well.
Oh, I don't see anyone yet that'll do well. But I like Weirdo's math teacher. With the crazy high voice.
Everything's a math problem, really.
I guess we have to expect the unexpected, guys. Okay, I pretty much am sure that I'm going to win the HOH, okay?
What?
She's fucking great. Just a lunatic.
I'm Bronte, like Brontosaurus.
And then they showed her math students that were just sitting there in hell, just hearing a squeaky noise that they can't understand, seeing a bunch of numbers written all over a whiteboard.
I'm not going to tell everybody that I'm actually a math genius.
Why would that matter?
It's going to help.
Yeah, that would do you.
I don't want them to be intimidated by me.
Yes, if we have fucking long division problems, you're a threat.
I can multiply, I can divide. Not long division yet. I'm not quite learned it.
I just wish that voice you were doing was parody, but it's not.
It's exact.
Who do you got to win? Who you want to win?
Who you want to win?
Yeah.
Give me the names.
All right.
Because I don't want to just describe.
I like describing better because I haven't learned names yet.
All right.
And this is what Vito does instead of work. He's texting throughout the whole show.
I think her name is Zakaya. Where is she?
Oh, yeah, the kind of hot black chick.
The hot black chick who is on hashtag Big Sister team name.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't do well, I think that she's going to be a strong player. I also like Josiah. The gay dude.
Oh, no, he's out early.
He's really annoying.
He's out.
Or Jose.
He's out early, and so's Devon, because you can't fight. You know what I mean? If you're a fighter, you're out.
All she was doing was talking shit the entire time. She almost punched Paul in the face last night.
Paul is going to be a problem. Paul will find himself out early.
It's a very annoying show.
Paul's the worst person alive.
So you got to look at the kind of Dullsville are going to go a long way,
Yeah.
Because the big mouths are going to eat each other for a while.
I like Glenn until I found he was a cop, a narc cop.
He's from Boogie Down.
I know he's Boogie Down.
He
Down
doesn't
Glenn.
once say the Bronx. He says Boogie Down Bronx every time.
We get it, all right, Glenn.
Then he goes around shaving dogs' asses, right? But he's like, being a former New York City police officer, I could go into the neighborhoods where they really couldn't normally get poodle clippings done.
I know how to take a bite out of crime, and now I know how to take a bite out of grime.
It's so stupid.
Glenn, I hate all of them.
Glenn is a problem. I always hate, though, whoever is the new chicken man.
Yeah, he's definitely chicken man. And right away, your mean gay fucking's like, 20 is not the new 50, you fat fuck.
I don't even know why I said that. He's totally believed me when I said, you're mean.
You shut up. That's what he's fucking telling the host of the show.
Get out of here, Julie.
Julie, you fucking dumb cunt. And she's like, dude, they'll chuck you out of here so fast. That's the president of Network's chick.
Don't you guys hate her?
Yeah. I'm sorry, we're not selling Korean barbecue, dude. We're doing a game. Get your little geisha ass back out. You just slow fucking down, buddy. It's day 2.
Hurry to boss us around.
We got it, Chris.
Yeah.
We already got it.
I hate you, Jelly Chan.
So you're going too far with it.
Jose, I'm going to need you to make yourself over to the door now.
And your name isn't Jose, it's Joe. Stop fucking acting like you're more... I'm a celebrity makeup person. All right, so their faces are more important. It's not like you work in movies. You work in fucking Beverly Hills, and someone stops by to get their makeup thrown away before they go to the gym. That's not being a celebrity makeup artist.
I like when everyone was saying what they did for a living. Everyone else was going, yay. Like, yay, you're doing good, yay. It was fucking really weird. how excited they were for people just to hear their
Well,
brother.
they were new this, Chris. You haven't
That's
watched
how
it
you
a couple
welcome
years.
each.
All right.
He didn't even recognize one returning
I didn't.
fucking house guest. And nothing was stupider than Stowaway. Look, I'm not going to spend a summer talking about these assholes. They're dead to me.
I like James, though, I guess, the Asian guy with the southern accent.
Well, yeah, because he did well a couple years ago.
I didn't
but
know.
I think
his problem is he came in chubbier than he used to be. He was the tiny little guy who had incredible balance. He was falling off that fucking rocket ship so fast.
I think Gina Davis' face is going to do pretty well. That's Tiffany, whose sister was in a previous season.
No, Tiffany's a moron.
She don't think she'll do well?
Her sister was a moron. She's a moron. They overplay the game. They start to figure out how to turn on people at week 1. You know what I mean? You got to turn on people when there's 2 weeks to go, not when you've been in the goddamn house for half an hour.
She couldn't even lie and saying she wasn't her sister. When she got confronted, she's like, what? No.
And that's a killer. She's lying about that. What else is she lying about?
Exactly.
Yeah. That bitch better go right back to fucking Skanktown.
I like at that point, like revealing that you can't even hold that secret for 2 hours at that point.
No, you got to give up. You got to give that stuff up. Like the other thing, why don't you go around and tell people that you were a narc? What are you fucking hiding?
It's not going to help him.
No. By the way, guys, I'm a narc. So what?
Great.
We're not doing fucking narc shit here. What do you think? I fucking rat-holed a fucking balloon of heroin into this? Fucking relax, Boogie Down. And it's the Bronx, okay? So if you're in Manhattan, say Boogie Down, we'll get it. But you don't say it when you're in California.
He was so desperate to find someone from the area. He's like, oh, you're from New Jersey? I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx.
Close enough.
Yeah.
And then
we both look at the same skyline.
Something really creepy when they announced their name, the Freakazoids. He just in the background screams, yeah, baby, we're freaks.
First of all, that impression is not even an impression. That's just you.
That's your ass-to-ass voice.
That's literally the kind of shit you do when we try to do a promo and we can't fucking run it. You're gonna sniff our dick hole. Like, we can't run that as a promo, Chris. You gotta improvise one fucking line.
Oh, shit. I'm pulling a Boogie Down.
You are. Oh, Mike Boogie's at home. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. No, I am not talking about this shit all summer. It's too crazy. I like this idea. I was seeing how the young founders that we have on the show feel about it. Silicon Valley is trying out this idea of just giving people money. Universal basic income is something that keeps coming up as we're going to become a more robot society. And it would be the government, I guess, would do this if it works out, but you just give everybody about $2,000 a month to start their selves with. Now, could this possibly work without everyone just staying home?
It's hard to see. I mean, it's one of those things, like, in a perfect world, you can imagine where the benefits of it would be. Because part of what they're saying is it's actually less expensive because you'd be doing away with different programs like welfare that, you know, they try to make it work, but it ends up costing us more and it isn't working efficiently for the people who need it. So this is one base pay that everybody gets.
Even the CEO of companies, it doesn't matter who it is, they get a check, $2,000 a month. Now, what are you going to do about pot smokers who just will sit at home and play fucking video games? How could this work, Chris?
I think the growing pains are going to be too hard. I think if it comes into effect, right?
I'm shocked by this. I thought that you'd be all for it.
I love it. Look, personally, I love it. But I think everyone else will freak out because they'll see, like, oh, this guy's just pissing the money away. He's not using it to, like, live.
Well, pissing the money away is a good thing.
Right, because then you become a consumer.
It's back in the economy. Pissing the money away is the point. The point is
they don't want you to save it.
What do you think, Vito? Would you welcome $2,000 a month?
Yeah, I mean, $2,000 a month can get you some good rent, get you some good meals and stuff. I'll take $2,000 a month.
I understand that it can get you some good meals and rent. I know about goods and services.
But will it stimulate the economy enough
or keep more people on the couch? That's kind of the concern. All right, 844-ROCK-GOD, 844-ROCK-GOD. Over the past year, this has come up time and time again. And it's basically based on like Star Trek. Like when you get to a Star Trek point, you don't do things for money. People aren't trying to accumulate more money. They have knowledge or they give back. You know,
Right.
somebody could just, whatever they happen to give back through their work is what they are graded on. So if you're a guy and you get your $2,000 a month and you use that, let's say, to chase other dreams. That's the point of this.
Exactly.
It isn't just about buying shit that month. It's like with the basic needs taken over, is society going to be better formed because people will be working on stuff that could really pay off.
Right. And you could even pursue other types of careers, but you would never be in a position where you had to take a job or do a job in order to keep yourself alive. So the idea would be this would stimulate people who were creative. It would stimulate people who wanted to invent things. It would even make people do more charitable acts because they were then free. Their time was then free to do those things because you never think, oh my God, if I don't work, I'll never make rent and I'm going to starve.
And it would also stimulate people who wanted to do things that don't necessarily pay off, but like somewhat good for society, like you're doing historical work or collecting things or whatever happens to be that, okay, this job is not going to pay a lot, but it would be great if we had some paper written about bees.
Right.
You know, that
And-
people could go read.
And exactly. And then the people who pursue the types of jobs that are services that we need, like caring for people, caring for the elderly, doing things that are, good for society, then they don't have to suffer for taking those types of jobs.
All right, here's Eric in California. Eric.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I was just following up on that comment about $2,000 getting you some good rent and food here in Silicon Valley. Not a chance.
Well, no one was saying that this would just be for Silicon Valley. And Manhattan is the same way that you're talking about. But $2,000 a month can pay off a mortgage in central Pennsylvania easily. You know, so there's plenty of places where that $2,000 a month can take care of basic needs. I mean, that's what, $24,000 a year. So you figure you could even have a part-time job and be doing okay for yourself.
Right. The idea is that it wouldn't be that no one worked because there would still be people who wanted to live better than having $2,000 a month.
Right.
And then there would be people who either they could use that to lean on because their job doesn't support that, and then no one goes hungry, and you can at least guarantee some type of shelter for everyone.
Right. Now, let's look at this. Suppose you're a couple. Now it's $4,000 a month. So you're starting off close to $50,000 a year before you decide what you want to do career-wise.
What if you have, like, a lot of kids?
I don't know if the kids get any money, because let's face it, what they do with money.
But what if,
candy.
But
here's my deal, though.
$2,000 worth of candy.
I don't know if we actually want people to have a lot of kids. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be, and it still is, that you get a tax break for having kids. But now you're like, why? You know, why? Are you just making more kids?
They're expensive.
Yeah, I know, but why should everyone else help you pay for those kids? That's the point of that. That would be up to you. You would get yourself, now you'd have 48,000, you'd have 50,000. So definitely one of the parents would be able to stay home, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
which is a difficult thing for most families to do now.
Yeah, I think that is a thing of the past as far as middle to lower income families. I don't think that people can really
and then
support.
even upper income families, the mom wants to work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And plus, they want to get 6 more boats.
Need the boats.
We need a lot of
we
boats.
don't have enough boats.
You know, every time I go to one of my houses, there's no boat there. I feel like a pauper. Vito, if you had, let's just say, whatever it is to make you a nut, right? How would you spend your time as a young man? What would your dream be?
I've always wanted to do, like for a living, or just like what would I do if I could just do whatever I wanted?
Well, it would be up to you at that point. I'm not saying now you've taken it to $1 million a month. I'm just saying your basic needs are covered. You don't have to sit around and be panicked every time rent or food money is due. How do you spend your time as a young man?
Probably writing.
You.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is why I'm against this now. Because if this dope is going to sit there and waste his time writing...
They've written 17 screenplays about Bigfoot.
Reggie. Reggie, what's up?
What's up, Bennington?
Yeah.
Hey, that's like over $7 trillion a year. Like, where's that money going to come from? You know what I mean?
Well, the fact of the matter is, it seems like it has to come from corporations in the future. Now, this isn't going to happen now, but in the future, because corporations are no longer going to be hiring mass amount of people. And this is the problem. Like when Trump says, I'm bringing the jobs back, even if you open up industry now, you go into those factories and you just see machines making other machines. I remember when I was a kid, you could go to the Hershey plant and it would be packed with people and they're pulling out things and wrapping things. And now you go there and there's nothing really to see. These conveyor belts and other machines are there. All the jobs are kind of gone. And that happens. Even go check out Tesla when they're making fucking cars. There's machines that they built to build the machines.
Yeah.
The humans are pretty much around just in case the machine fucks up somehow, or to go, okay, check this out. This car is done. You know, I started it. We're ready to go. So we don't know, industry as we think about it is almost gone in this country. And in 50 years, it's going to be completely, just somebody there to turn on the fucking thing and say, off we go. It'll be some management positions, I guess.
Yeah, and with the money, like I said before, I think the idea and theory is it will also replace a ton of programs that already exist, that we already put money into, that aren't working efficiently enough and are kind of wasting money because people aren't getting the help that they need, and we're still spending that kind of money.
At some point, the economy itself has to change if we're going to go into this robot economy. That's the thing. You can't say you better get out there and do something with your life because the things will be getting done for you. Right? The cars are driving themselves. The machines are building themselves. Everyone is just clicking online for what they want to purchase. So there's no one there in a store to sell. The delivery happens on its own. Chris believes through drones, but I think that sounds a little like ugly for our sky.
Drone army.
So at some point, and hopefully I won't live to see it, you're going to have to take care of these Wally babies that are in this country and around the world. They're going to be those hairless Jeff Garlands that stuff has to happen for.
Yeah, just kind of floating around, consuming. I don't know. And like you said about when anybody mentions bringing jobs, it's not only that, is even the jobs that are being created are still not a replacement for the factory level, like blue
income.
Collar. Yeah, exactly.
Old union jobs. That's what's gone in this country, and that's the hole we've felt in this country since probably the early 80s. That a man can say to his wife, honey, I'll be back here tonight, really tired, dirty, maybe missing a finger. You take care of the kids. When I get home, like a really big carb dinner, hot, I'll sit and drink scotch until I pass out in front of my color television set. Keep those kids quiet once I get home.
I don't even want to know they're here.
Yeah. And no, I'm not going to their dumb plays or baseball games. And tell them I say they're food eaters. Colin in Sacramento. Hey, Colin, what's up?
Hey, Buckminster Fuller discussed this back in the 60s and 70s. You took me right back to my sociology class in college, and the basic premise that Bucky had was that at some point the labor force would exceed the amount of work necessary due to industrialization, and that we would be forced to confront this issue of a universal basic income. Basically, he says there's no need for us to sit around and toil, such as we're doing, to try to earn a living, that there is enough wealth to be dispersed that everyone can have a basic income and pursue their own dreams.
So basically, this money will come from the corporations. If you want to be a corporation and work, you've got to pay back into this. And that'll be it for people.
Yeah, along those lines. Like I said, we're taking me back to my college classes in the 70s, so it's a little rusty right now.
No, I understand. Yeah, the idea's been around for a while. Well, these guys in an incubator, a TJ Miller type incubator, have grabbed a bunch of people. They're doing this just to see how the folks react to it. I don't think that this is going to be something that happens overnight, but the future's coming at us like a fucking bullet right now. You can't even slow it down.
Yeah, so this is just like a pilot program to see if this is even possible. And I think that, I don't even know the amount of families, but I think that they were saying using Oakland as like
O-Town.
Yeah.
It's called Oakland Booty.
Yeah.
This entire thing.
The Boogie Down?
Yeah, but oh, that's the Bronx.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you think it was Boogie Down Oakland?
He just has one catchphrase he wants to get going.
Sad. It's honestly sad. That's why I like to give him 2 G's.
Just here's 2 G's. Come up with something other than Boogie Down.
I'm going to get to work.
Spend some time, brainstorm a little bit.
All right.
I don't know. What would you be working on, Chris? What's your interest that you feel that if you had the chance to study it or work on it, you could give back to society?
Maybe I'll just try to be a doctor if I was to get this $2,000, you know? No. I'm talking like a surgeon, you know, to help get into people and help them out. That's what I feel like.
Problem.
What's the problem?
Surgery is going to be done by machines, and it's more and more like that every day. Surgery is going to be a thing of the past. People in the future will look back at us that we cut each other over.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to take a pill and little machines are going to go to that area and work on it.
Nanotechnology.
Yeah, nanotechnology. But you're going to be the last fucking surgeon. With big bloody gloves.
Leeches.
Yeah.
By the way, I had no idea that was your passion, by the way.
No, it just came out of nowhere.
I want to help people.
I know, but you realize your age now. By the time... I mean, it's like you saying, I want to be a professional soccer player. There's some dreams that you got to get to early.
Now they got this $2,000 a month. If I'm going to get on the pitch.
Seems like to be the last white surgeon is not... But I mean, look how you're into VR. Maybe you could study virtual reality. Maybe that's your way.
You know what? I love it. You know, I had the headset on last night trying to find some decent pornography. It's not. I don't think it's there yet.
No,
it's not there yet on the porn end.
Really?
It's disappointing.
You haven't found any?
It's just bad quality.
You found it.
You start a blog and you're criticizing VR porn. That's perfect.
That's your passion.
Mike, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey, Ronnie. I've been saying for a long time that this socialist kind of plan, that support from the government, that's the only way we're going to be able to survive in the future. Because if you think about my generation, your generation, you would go into the factory when you were 17, you'd stay there till you were 65, and that was the middle class. Like, I mean, that's how the middle class in North America was formed. And, like, I've been trucking around the Rust Belt since, you know, the mid-'80s, and, man, I have seen it get boarded up. I've seen bank tellers disappear, supermarket cashiers are disappearing. Like, automation is sort of the dirty little secret that the governments really aren't talking all that much about. But, I mean, man, in the future, the jobs, like, I mean, there's only so many Walmart greeting jobs that are available. Like, I mean, you know, think about it. McDonald's doesn't even hire kids like they used to. You know, it's all senior citizens, right? So, I mean, I can't see any other way than some kind of socialist support where everybody's going to have to get a bit of a check because, I mean, a lot of people will say, well, you got to go get a college degree. Well, there's only going to be so many jobs for professionals. Like, not everybody in the world is going to be able to go and be a professional.
Maybe it's a return to college being treated as something to stimulate your mind and learn more about the world, rather than you need to go to college or else you'll never get a good job, which is what it became. That's that was what all the teachers I grew up with said. There's no way. Do not even try to not go to college. You'll never get a good job. So maybe it'll be this return to.
Did they ever bring up trade school to anyone, since an electrician can make a lot more money
Honestly,
than most?
No. Not never. And it was never treated like a good option to young people.
Here is Mark. Mark in Utah. What's up?
Hey, Ron. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills this afternoon listening to this $2,000 a month free for everybody. I'd like to point out a correction. It's not over $7 trillion a year. It's over $7 trillion a month, if you were to roll that out nationwide. And just to reiterate the question that was brought up earlier, where would that money come from?
Well, in the same way as you're saying, let's suppose everybody in America was working, right? You'd still have to pay out $7 trillion a month. The fact is, there's not going to be jobs for people. The machines are going to be doing the jobs. This isn't happening tomorrow, and this is an experiment being done to see the way people react to it, because I think there's a very good chance that instead of having people free to chase some of their ideas, you have people free to watch daytime TV, you know? That is the thing that has to be looked at. And do people lose any kind of gold chasing abilities? That's the downside.
Right.
That you just have people going, I live on the bare minimum because that's what I get.
Because I'm comfortable with that. Everybody else does that. There's going to be a standard to it. But I think that there still will be I think that there's still going to be some sort of seed of capitalism that won't go away.
No, capitalism is going to exist, but not for most of the people. So how do you make sure that people are doing this thing like Chris studying medicine?
Thank you.
Even though he hasn't for a second, he's just trying to destroy conversation, but not how we really see him sitting on the front stoop drinking beer out of a bag. Because I think that's what's going to happen with him.
Yeah.
I think if you take away any kind of motivation for him, there's only one driving factor for Chris, and you saw that in the meeting the other day: fear. Fear of loss is his only motivating. He will fight to survive, but he will not fight to thrive. That doesn't interest him. Survival, he understands.
Yeah, and I think that that's going to be part of what would make this experiment work, is that some people will be like that, but those people being consumers, if they are consuming, will be stimulating the economy, right? That's the idea.
That is the idea.
That there's going to be the type of personalities who, use this freedom to either pursue careers that wouldn't have paid them as well as other people. And then there's going to be people who go into creative endeavors. And then there's going to be people who kind of are just keeping the gears going by downloading apps and, like eating food and, consuming
really
entertainment.
Great. Really make life sound wonderful.
Apps, huh?
Yeah. I see, Chris, instead of surgery, I'd like to see you pursue your thoughts into tattoo inking. New ways to do it.
Okay, I can get into that, yeah.
Maybe a temporary tattoo that washes out after a year.
People would love that.
Thank you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Can I take that for this new future?
It's the only way you're going to get an idea, is if you take it from someone else. You don't have your own. I can see you with just a webcam and let people watch you when you're sitting around your house.
I'll be a web girl.
Yeah.
Cam girl. I got this $2,000 a month, everyone. You do too. Send it my way. On my Amazon wish list.
Just reminding everybody, I'm going to be masturbating at 9:00 tonight.
Oh, God.
Chris in Philly. Chris.
Hey, Bennington. How are you?
Good.
You guys just touched on a point. I'm 40 years old, and trade school is always something. Now, I don't know if it was frowned upon, but always like, oh, you want to go to college, you don't want to go into the trades. But really, trades are never going away, aren't going away for quite some time. Like, you could get a good job as a plumber in the Union in Manhattan and make $200,000 a year. And there's always going to be a need for people to come to your house, at least for the foreseeable future, to do plumbing plumbing work, electrical work,
Sure,
HVAC
I agree
work.
100%.
I know so many people that I grew up with and went to college with who found that after college, found out that maybe they were kind of pushed into doing this because they felt like this was the standard, or at least that's what people told them was appropriate. And then they found different trades post college and are making better money than a lot of people who are working.
Not only that, but once you learn those skills, you open up the chance to open up your own business.
Exactly.
So, in so many ways, it's a better and smarter way to get into business than by going to business school.
Yeah.
But because you were taught by teachers, you know what I mean? And teachers only went the way of education. They feel that education is the most important thing. And I don't think that they're dicks for thinking that. That's just their own way, you know? That'd be like asking Chris Stanley whether pills are fucking fun or not. He's just going to say his version of the truth. But we never... Yeah, and even if you had something in most schools like a shop class, they were still taught by a teacher, not somebody that they brought in from the private sector to say, here's a not only a great way to make money, and it is, but it's also a wonderful service to give back to your community, because anybody who's had sewage problems, electrical problems, plumbing problems, you're so fucking glad to see anyone show up who can solve these problems for you.
Right.
Because you're just sitting there going, oh, this shit is very complicated. I don't get it at all. I saw a guy in Pennsylvania fracking has fucked up the water where they live, in somewhere in central PA. And he has this big water tank in his backyard now for drinking water. These are elderly people, for him and his wife. I'm like, somebody had to be fucking smart enough to come up with this as, you know, a solution problem. And then the water truck comes around and fills it up. You can't trust the plumbing in this area. That's the kind of shit that's going to matter. Hey, tomorrow's Comedy 101. It's going to be a ball, and the comedians just slayed on it. 8:30 tomorrow morning on Opie Radio. And then, Chris, that's going to run throughout the weekend.
All weekend long on Opie Radio.
And can we get that on demand as well?
That'll be on demand.
You say that every week about the Friday show.
It will be on demand.
Now, you have to tell people how they can get it.
You search on tomorrow morning, you'll search Bennington, and Bennington on Opie Radio. That Friday show will be.
See, that's the thing that you got to point out to people, that it's on Opie Radio.
On Opie Radio.
Because they're not used to going to it.
Yeah.
They're used to going to it on the Raw Dog thing. So we'll, push that out tomorrow as well. But this is a hysterical show. I hope it captures the energy that was in the room that night, because the laughs were crazy.
It was so much fun, and it was so different than the first time we did it.
Yeah.
But still hilarious in an entirely different way with a whole new energy.
3 brilliant comics that are the fastest people that you'll ever want to see doing comedy. From My Wife Hates Me, the always hilarious Voss and Bonnie, and then their great friend Robert Kelly, who not only is the funniest fucking dude, but he works so well with Voss and Bonnie. I mean, they were scrapping back and forth. It was just an absolute scream. A 1-hour scream fest. And it was Coach's first gig, first time you were out there.
It was.
How'd you do with it?
There was a lot of running up and down the stairs.
Okay, you were the runner.
I had to keep track of Rich Voss, which was really funny. Like, a really peculiar job that I got was just make sure he's standing where he's supposed to be standing, because he will run off.
Well, everybody wants to talk to him. Everybody wants to see him. Those guys were cool enough to stand outside, talk to all the listeners as they left. It was a really, really fun night. Beautiful night after that event, too, down at the Stand, which is, one of those New York comedy clubs that just comes off as a New York comedy club.
Yeah, that was a blast. We did that, and before that we had done the Big J Unmasked there, and they have such a great team, and it's a phenomenal club.
But I'm going to do this and pat our own backs here, and I'm not just talking about us, but the whole Comedy 101. The receptionist upstairs says, and she's upstairs, so she's like, I have never in my life heard laughs coming out of that room like that. She goes, I didn't know what the hell was happening down there. That was just, it was just hilarious. Here is Artie. Artie in PA.
Ron, I am a lifelong Republican and conservative, but I see a very grim future. But I think that's the only way that we're going to survive is with this $2,000 a month for everyone. Because you're right, no matter how hard you're working, if there's no jobs to work, where does that get you? I mean, you're just going to have the Chris Stanleys of the world beating off all day to gay porn, you know?
Right. You're going to have that, but then you're also going to have people that are able to think, you know what, I've always wanted to start a certain type of store, and they'll be able to work at things like that without worrying about, you know, all the people you see on Shark Tank, right, who are idea people, and these are things that are going to generate more money for people if they have it. So you might find yourself being able to go, now I can go do that business that I always wanted to do. Because
but really, how many people are going to do that? I mean, the majority of people are going to be like the Chris Stanleys.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. And that is a problem. What are we going to do if we keep giving birth to a nation of Stanleys? You know what I mean?
Cam girls.
Yeah.
We
Good
can't
boys.
all just be watching each other on cameras and pay for it.
But hey, let me ask you this: so you're a conservative. Where do you see Trump's chances? What do you think? Is this thing going to bounce back up again?
I don't think it's down. I can't imagine Hillary has any chance of winning. She's so unlikable, and I know Trump's unlikable, but at least he's got like some solid cojones. He can get stuff done. Hillary's just kind of like a fragile waste, and her voice is just so annoying. I can't imagine anybody voting for her.
So it's the voice and the waist that's going to keep her out. I mean, there's never been a time in my lifetime that I've ever seen two less liked candidates. I mean, normally, and we were going through this yesterday, it's going to be who you vote against, not who you vote for.
Yeah, I think, and there's always like a certain element, like I think every election year, people say, oh, I feel like I'm just picking the lesser of two evils. But this time more than ever.
Well, they're really two evils.
Yeah. This time I think people are absolutely going to vote for, okay, I hate this person.
Here's what it is. It's like if we found out, and this is what it's like for people, if you had an election between Satan and Satan Claus, right? It's a tough choice to make. I don't know which way I would go.
I mean, even with Elizabeth Warren endorsing Hillary, everything she said about it, because the two of them have not seen eye to eye for a long time, and she's been a big ally of Bernie's for many years, and her politics are aligned with his, but when she gave her speech about it, all she was saying was, "We can't let Trump win."
Yes, that's what everybody and the people, Republicans who back Trump, have a tendency to say, "We can't let Hillary win." Speaking of which, Nick DiPaolo was absolutely a fucking screamer in here.
He is so damn funny.
He is the funniest son of a bitch. We got to do an unmasked with him. Why are you grabbing a pen and writing it down there? We've talked about it for years.
Let's circle that.
And just, do I fall for it that many times that you just, how many times does that put me at ease? That you, does it? Because I feel like it must work. That I go, okay, he's writing it down, and then I'll never hear from him again on it. We might be doing a last minute town hall that's very exciting next Wednesday. And that's why we got to keep, and we should be doing a promo on comedy, how to tell our listeners. Yeah, write it down. Because we talked about it before a couple of times. Yes. How to get on that town hall list.
Yeah, I think we have the we have
the info. Have we cut the promo?
We have not cut the promo.
Good. That way it won't be heard. That's how I want our marketing to be done.
Secretive.
Yeah, it's like a secret, but not even the kind of secret you tell a friend. A secret that you tell yourself.
You go to Sirius XM. I know.
Coach is laughing at you.
Coach, please stop doing that.
Is it like a thing you only tell your dog?
Oh, shit! Fuck! You're right.
I'm a cam girl, first off.
God, you dude.
You go to SiriusXM.com/perks. That's where you can sign up to get on. Make sure you're on the mailing list to get on town halls.
And that comes from our surgeon. Here's our friend Maureen. Good to see you the other night, Maureen.
Hi, guys. It was so much fun. I can't wait for you to play it. I can't wait for my husband to hear it.
It's I just hope that it captures how crazy that night was. Weren't the three judges so incredibly funny?
Oh my God, yeah. I thought Bobby Kelly was adorable. And,
everybody loves Bobby Kelly.
He's so cute.
And are we allowed to talk about who may be our new champion, or are we leaving that as
I don't think. Yeah, I think we want to leave that till Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's a champion too. I do.
Yeah.
Maureen, I'm so glad. It was so great to see you there.
Oh,
and we've been sitting around just already talking about how we not wait as long as we did for the last one.
Oh, I know. I'll be just waiting for the next announcement so I can type in. I want to get in on it. It was so much fun.
All right, honey. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we can't do that again.
No, we're already gonna start plans for the next one.
There's already little things we want to tweak to make it better. I mean, we've only done it twice, but you see all these alt specialty shows. I don't think that they would like us at all because ours is so old school New York comedy.
It's an acquired
there's
taste.
no way they're getting the laughs of it. I don't know. I think if you're in the room, it's not an acquired taste. You know what I mean? Like if you're in that room, if you're on the outside, it may seem, a little strange to you. But I was standing there watching the audience, and I saw people that I was worried about their health. They were laughing so hard. I saw someone cough up a lung and then have to shove it back down their throat again. Hey, Dave in Jersey. Dave.
Yeah, hi. I think Hillary Clinton's going to win easily. I think she's going to beat Donald Trump. People are going to be pragmatic and see Donald has never been a politician. He's never, he doesn't have any experience. He's not going to do a good job running. And I think the country's souring on the Republican Party and conservatism in general. I think it's a dying political philosophy. I think it's doesn't carry a lot of weight.
Well, politically, and it doesn't have to, I mean, there is a real old school thing about Trump. And I mean, we've been into globalism now for like 30 some years. So to hear someone saying America first and putting up walls and stuff like that, no one has really said that. At least nobody with his platform. So it is shocking to the system to, just hear some of these ideas. But the Republican Party already has like a tough thing to move every political season when you look at what they have to do, because they can't get the only real population center that they get is Texas. You know what I mean? That state. So they don't get the West Coast and they don't get the Northeast. That makes it really hard to make sure you win those swing states. So that's already difficult no matter who is in there. And until you can get the coast to buy in. And, even if you look back to Ted Cruz, he fucking hates New York. He hates California, so a conservative guy like that may do real well in the South and Midwest, but you just can't ignore where the population is. So that's already going to be tough. But the Trump thing, don't look at any polls, don't pay attention to anything until after the two conventions. Then you'll be able to see which way the country is leaning. But I think plenty can happen for and against Hillary, and plenty can happen for and against Trump.
Yeah, I agree. Even yesterday, that poll popped up on CNN giving the Libertarian candidate
9%.
and you're like, that can't be.
It may be, though. It may be. I mean, we've had, big third parties, just not in the last 25, 30 years.
But if it is, it's something that could change so fast. It feels like, it's too early to start worrying about.
Well, it's too early to know where our heads are going to be at in September, October, and November. Trump would be a breath of fresh air if everyone felt like they could trust him. That's the thing. Everything about him seems like good. An outsider. I said immediately, an outsider would be great just to tell us where the stuff is broke. Just to say, this is why your country doesn't work. Hillary right now is the conservative choice. Whether, you know what I mean? She's the known entity. Trump isn't. So you're either going to win big or lose big. with Trump and Hillary, you're going to have the same thing that you had with Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush. It'll be the same. We know what we're getting. And most of the time, you just, you live your life.
Yeah.
You just go with a general malaise in this fucking country. What are you going to do? Look at Uncle Sam, fuck me in the ass, took all my money. We're just used to talking that way.
It's like we're ready for our 2,000 a month cam girls.
Not going to happen for a while. You might get it in your elder years.
This would be a weird cam girl, but I'll still go with it.
I know, Chris. You've adapted. You went from surgeon to cam girl within an hour. What else we got to plug here and push here today?
We also have the Ali Wong Unmasked that's going to air tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. here on Raw Dog. Super excited about that one, too. We had a lot of fun in D.C. That was a fun trip.
It was a great trip. And if you get the chance tonight, watch that Netflix special of hers.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. All right, why don't we take a break here? Right back. Bennington. Hey, it's the Bennington Show. Thursday. We're up early tomorrow, filling in for Opie on Opie Radio. Did you find out who our musical guest is next door for Fox and Friends?
It was the last winner of American Idol.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson. Fantastic.
Oh, great. Love her.
She was the first.
Now, this is like a hillbilly singer, right?
Yeah. He's a country guy.
I don't know what it is about Fox and Friends. They start the summer with a lot of country, and then they end with a lot of classic rock. At least they did last year.
Yeah, that was their...
I don't know why. I don't know why a classic rock plays better in August. I was glad to have it.
Well, this is Trent Harmon's time. He's the last American Idol winner.
Trent Harmon seems like a made-up name. Howdy, I'm Trent Harmon.
Are you?
I wish country music still sounded like that. That I could get down with.
Yeah. Well, there's still a lot of good country music. You just don't hear it on the radio. You could head on over and check out Outlaw Country. By the way, I haven't seen Jeremy for a while, right?
Neither have I, no. I'll look into where he's been.
You're always... Write it down.
Wait, look at... And I saw Jeremy yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
I did.
Never mind.
All right, got
it. Find out, Ron. Gail saw him yesterday.
That's not because of your note, though.
Good. Well, that's the best run, to me, that's one of the best stations. I also like all the underground garage stuff. A lot of good rock and roll in there. Like loving the deep tracks where you're going to hear GPS. Our next one's going to be a shocker.
I know.
Bear down, bear down.
This one's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Hey, buddy.
Hi, Brooke.
Brooke.
Hi, hey, Brooke.
Hi, Brooke.
Hey, Brooke.
Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Brooke. We're stopping. Okay.
Hi, Brooke.
Brooke's in a nice summer. Oh, look who's blushing. Vito.
Oh.
You liked Brooke for a while, but she didn't like you back. Was that it?
Yeah. That's the case as it is.
He's trying to get a showman started with Brooke.
Vito, boy.
Trying to form an
Is
alliance.
that you? I thought your post-hanging days were through. We got to give Vito a woman.
I know. He needs a lady. A nice young lady.
Yeah. Somebody you can take home to mom.
Oh, definitely.
And she'd be like, you gotta eat a little bit. Go ahead and eat.
Does she prefer that you date Italians?
No, she doesn't really give a shit what if, it doesn't matter if they're not Italian. That's the best way to put it.
Okay. Ethnic is the word that you're looking for.
I was going to say that, and then I realized that
it does matter. There is a line for mom. Italians are funny that way. Italians do not let go. See, the Italians in New York, that's our Trump voters. They're all going to vote for Trump. They're like, I'm going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Make sure Trump gets in there. Starts to kick a little ass. Push some bitches around a little bit. But,
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a real good guy.
He's a good guy.
Trump is going to sweep Staten Island. I know that's true.
He will get 100% of the vote.
100. There won't be anybody. I like Trump right now, He's going to keep his knee on those bastards.
He tells it like it is. I like that.
You're a Trump guy, right?
big time.
Yeah.
All us New York Guineas love him.
Don't call yourself names like that. That's the G word.
Guido?
I'm not even comfortable with that. You know why? Because I had a friend named Guido. Mito Potato Guido de Mayo. That was his name.
It's great.
His name is Guido DeMeo?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
He was great. He was hilarious. But I call him Guido DeMeo because one time the Pope brothers, their mom made them food, right? And she didn't make a potato with the meat, right? So they take their knife and forks and they just start slamming it on the thing, and they're going, what would they say? Something Mito, where's the potato? They go, Mito, where's the potato? And then it turned into Mito, potato, Guido DeMeo, who's a friend. And one of the popes said that their plate was bouncing up all like 6 inches off. They were so happy, and their mom had to run out of the house.
You're driving me crazy.
Yeah. That was fucking hilarious. I didn't even tell you guys this, but yesterday, 2 days ago, Flathead was in the city and was coming in. He was going to do the show with us.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and he got called out on business and couldn't make it by. But he's sending you something, he says, Gail. I don't know what it's going to be. Chris wouldn't, he wasn't going to give him the address. I said, give him the address.
Did you give it to him?
You got the address. This package will be arriving.
Hey, Sean, what's up, buddy?
That was fucking hilarious.
Turn your radio down. All right. Art, Colorado.
Yeah. I just want to say that it's not going to be, it doesn't matter what you think about Trump or Hillary. It's all about the Supreme Court. That's what this is all about. Supreme Court. If you're a woman and you don't want your reproductive rights, vote for Trump.
Okay, so any woman who doesn't vote for Trump will leave it up to Trump to decide when she has a baby. Trump will make the decision.
Dr. Trump.
Yeah. See, the funny thing about Trump is he is from New York. He doesn't give two shits about abortion.
Yeah.
Now, he's got to say that he does, but we know that he doesn't.
I know that he doesn't. I also, like any of the social issues, gay marriage or
Are you
anything.
crying today? You're running some mascara down there.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did I?
Well,
Thanks
you
for...
crying? Something Chris say?
You ever notice you're the only one who will tell me that? I'll be in mid-conversation with these guys for 20 minutes, and it's not until you come in and you're like, oh, you smudged your makeup.
Here's the deal. They don't care, right? They don't even notice.
And they say, oh, like I would even notice that. Like it's on my face.
I know. They don't care.
I thought that's how you wanted it.
All right. Randy wrote to us, Trump won 84% in my neighborhood in Staten Island in the New York primary. But he says Hillary will win in a landslide, guaranteed. Well, if Randy says that, then I believe it. He's the modern day Nostradamus. Because this guy, he knows all the TV numbers are before anybody else does. I'm not kidding. He works for some kind of thing. He's not allowed to say exactly what, but he'll be able to say, this show's getting canceled. This show's going to be back. Trust me. He knew that Nick DiPaolo's favorite show was going to be gone. Nick took that hard yesterday.
I know. He was really upset.
Yeah. I felt bad because when your show's gone, your show's gone.
Yeah, it's painful.
I wish somebody would come along and fucking cancel Wayward Pines so you don't have to still act like I'm into it. I hate when I get into these stupid shows and they get worse and worse as they go along.
Is that the sci-fi one?
Yes, Chris.
Okay,
it's
just
a
making
sci-fi.
sure, 'cause there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of shows out there.
Name Wayward Pines?
But wasn't there a movie with Ryan Gosling that wasn't sci-fi called Wayward Pines?
No, that's some other kind of pines.
All right, okay.
You're fucking thinking of Drive.
That was the place beyond the pines, Chris.
Yeah, this had pines in it.
They gotta stop with the pines. Why are pines so popular?
He's cleaning his house the other day. He looks at Pine Saw. He's like, that Ryan Gosling's doing great.
This reminds me.
I wonder what goes on in that little fucking head of yours. I bet if you get a thought, it just fucking pings around like somebody dropped a pebble in the Grand Canyon.
What is it that he says that something popped into your brain?
Yeah.
Something popped in there.
From where?
I don't know why this just popped
Your
into
foot?
my brain, but
He's like, I've been thinking with my foot lately.
Got some good ideas.
The man in gray. What are you, a fucking Confederate soldier today?
This is just a coincidence.
So you didn't even know you were doing it?
Nope.
it shocks me because this is Black and Blue show.
I just looked at Randy's Twitter page. He is the Hillary fan of all time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I actually thought that you were on her actual Twitter account.
He's basically running her account for her.
He's a booster.
Oh. Well, this is odd. Tim Knight, you never know what this fucking guy's going to write. He says, the fact that Vito is a Trump guy may explain why he can't get a girl.
I'm so confused.
I never know what Tim Knight means.
I don't know. He's a mystery, that Tim Knight.
Wrapped in an enigma. Stuffed into a pillowcase filled with fucking fish. I think that's the quote.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
That's
write
it,
it
Ron.
down.
Write
it down.
I don't know if that was an anti or pro Trump comment. I know it's an anti-veto comment for sure. That I'm sure of.
I don't know. You know, people do like Vito.
Oh, yeah, he's very liked.
Thank you.
Your Snapchats have gotten awful again, though. You need to fucking up your game, dude. You got to be a creative guy.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to put anything up yesterday because we had so many of the. I didn't want anything to get lost in the story we had yesterday.
Yeah, the story we had yesterday was terrible. That thing didn't work, and your ability to even get close to us, so it made sense. It's got to be fun. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, there's a bunch of people over there with Chris pointing a phone at him. You got to get back into being creative, Vito. The Vito that went through that film school of yours like a bat out of fire. Bat out of fire? Bat out of hell. There's no Bat Out of Fire album by Meatloaf. There was. I love it. Yeah, there is.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Right there, stars I don't know. Stars I don't know. Say you should be fucking Snapchatting the stars I don't know.
Yeah.
How
That should
does
be a
anybody
thing.
have that many people follow them around all day?
There's 7 of them.
Yeah. 7, and they're following a guy I don't know. I don't think that job's going to be there. Blake in Atlanta. What's up, buddy?
Hey, I keep waiting for Trump to pull off his Mission Impossible mask, and it's Andy Kaufman behind it.
All right. You know, I know some people don't like the Donald. I get it. I don't know where I'm going in this election.
It's confusing, right?
It's fun, though. I like the fact that they're two hateable people. You know, heel versus heel. You know, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's much like our TV dramas now.
A friend of mine who's a Republican, he liked Trump's takedown of Clinton yesterday, but he said Trump brought up so many things that he worries about Trump's health now. He goes, because you don't know the evil people that the Clintons have dealt with since 92.
Really?
Yeah. He thinks, I don't know, the Illuminati, the shadow government.
Black helicopters.
Yeah, black helicopters.
They're part of it.
You're a conspiracy guy, right?
Yeah. I have.
What else is in your noggin? What have you been thinking? What have you been looking at lately?
Mostly virtual reality content. And also, there's a new Marshawn Lynch interview that blew me away. He's
not even playing it anymore.
I know, he's retired. I don't even know. They didn't even say where this interview was from. They just posted it to Twitter. And he's a guy who's famous for never doing interviews. He hated it. But now that he's retired, he's just going out there doing interviews.
Well, he didn't want to do interviews after the game or before the game.
Yeah.
So is there something good about this?
Yeah, well, it shows Marshawn Lynch's personality.
Will I care, or I say, why did you waste my time showing me
You're going
this?
to care.
All right. How long is it?
It's like 30 seconds.
That's too long.
It's not too long, trust me.
Go ahead.
It might be even less than 30. This is Marshawn Lynch being interviewed.
That's when it just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't going to be able to take that over and 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 over again. They just not going to want that.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there?
Run through a motherfucker face. Then you don't have to worry about them no more.
He's still trolling, Chris.
That's
the shit that he did.
Has to know that the over and over was ridiculous.
No, he does. He fucks with people.
That's why Marshawn Lynch is the best and he shouldn't have retired.
Well, it was his choice, though.
I know. He should come back.
What is he, 30?
Oh, yeah. 31?
It's smart to retire if you're running back when you're 30, because it's all downhill. The knees start to go. If he's got his money and he's got his ring, he can just sit around talking about over and over and over and over. And you're going to run through a motherfucker's face.
It's good advice for the running backs.
right through the motherfucker's
The rest of the league should be listening.
What is the position that you can be the oldest? Quarterback?
Quarterback, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
can
most
be like an old.
protected. Yeah, a quarterback right now is like a coach. Like Tom Brady has nothing in common with the guys. You know, if
They're
there's
generationally different.
Yeah, if something happens, he goes, "Come here, son. Listen, here's what I'm going to do," and he teaches them like they're a boy. And then he has to say to them, "You guys were out drinking last night. We're not going to have a good practice today." You know what I mean? He's that much older than them. He doesn't give a fuck about the shit that they care about.
So when you're quarterback, you move into immediate hall monitor status.
No, at a certain point, you're mature and they're not mature. You know what I mean? They're living like pirates. And this is a man who owns a home, has a wife and children. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, hey, you might want to use a fork with that. Not just stab it with a steak knife and start biting it. Could end up cutting your tongue. You're just giving advice whether you mean to or not. You know, you're like, I've seen this shit before. You're fucking acting crazy. But that, you know, Peyton Manning, he might as well have been having his children in a fucking truck the last year of his life. You know, he was like, seriously, driving them to practice, going, calm down back there. I'll pull this car over and start slapping people. You've made me angry. Are you proud of yourself now? Is that what you want to do? Make me sad? Because you're making me sad. When I'm sad, we can't have any food. We won't have any food here. You'll have to live outside. And I'll get a new mom for myself. And they'll have nice children.
Don't, Peyton.
What did you just say?
Don't, Peyton.
Okay. I tried to realize. I thought he was saying, do it, Peyton. I don't
His
speak
kids call him Peyton, I guess.
Yeah. But last night, the big Bill Simmons show debuted.
Any given Wednesday.
Batman was on it. And Batman was pissed about, you know, what's going on with the Patriots right now. And he did make a good fucking point. He's like, everybody in this league could be busted for steroids. And you're giving this guy 4 weeks off. Now, the thing that he doesn't bring up, that he's just not a fan of the team. He fucking hangs out with him.
Yeah. He's really tight with those dudes. And then he started...
Not with those dudes, the one dude.
And he started trashing Eli also.
Oh, that's easy done. I mean, Giants fans trash Eli.
But the internet thought he was drunk during the interview.
The internet's drunk.
That was like the big takeaway. Like, holy shit, Ben Affleck was messed up on the Bill Simmons show.
He was just being a fellow.
He was just dropping F-bombs, you know? He was just intense. Went kind of crazy on the Bill Maher show, too.
For what?
I believe it was about people being anti-Islam.
Do you know how long ago that was?
It was a while ago, but say he has a history of going off.
Talking to you is like talking to the internet. There's no fucking difference.
I feel like he's gaslighting Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he is.
He's crazy.
Ben's directing movies. He's in big blockbusters. There's nothing crazy about him. Ben isn't screaming out, he's trying to burn my genitals. Help me. Look who it is. It's Hard Rock Johnny.
Yeah, I mean, not to burst any bubbles, but if you clicked on the second link to that Marshawn Lynch interview, it's a Sports Illustrated 60 Minutes long-form interview, and it's pretty amazing if you check the whole thing out.
Oh, shit.
And guess what? I'm not bad-mouthing Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, you were.
No, I said it's an amazing... I'm bad-mouthing you, not Marshawn Lynch.
Understandable.
You were, in your own way, acting like, look at Marshawn Lynch. He's a fucking clown.
Yeah, just saying it over and over and over. There's a lot more to the interview than the word over and motherfucker.
Well, that's what I took away from it. And I love that man.
I love him too. He even explains what beast mode is.
I don't know. It's done. I mean, it's like looking backwards now. You know?
Basically what he said.
It's all over.
I'm going to miss beast mode, though.
I don't think I'll miss him. Hey, let's do a thing right now. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Not even know. Chris?
Washington Redskins.
Really? That's stunning.
Dark horse.
Vito.
Broncos.
Because that's what you saw last year.
Come on.
Johnny.
Giants. Come on.
Eagles.
Finally?
Yeah, I'm looking really hard at the Indianapolis Colts, but Gail made some good point. I'm going Eagles.
Yay!
Here's what I think is going to happen, too. 16-0.
All right.
And then they shut out every team in the playoffs, average 45 zip. Eagles.
They're all blowouts.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And believe me, those teams are going to feel like, well, they beat us worse than the score, so this is great.
Now, people scoring against them during the regular season?
Occasionally, you know.
Sure, like a field goal.
They're going to give up 10 points total for the year.
spread out literally as 1 point.
They're going to give up an extra point a game. That's it.
That's it.
Unheard of.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting season. How far are we away? When we get fucking summer out of the way and get back into football?
5 weeks till training camp opens. Not that I'm counting. But
who's Hard Knocks this year? Who are we taking a look at? They haven't said yet, right?
No, I think they did.
Yeah. This year it's going to be an arena team.
Rams.
Yeah, the Rams.
That's great.
It's perfect.
I'll be watching every one of those.
Yeah, you got it first. That's fine.
You know what? If the Eagles don't win this year, I'm going to say the Los Angeles Rams. They win because it only makes sense when you come into the league like this. You make a big splash. Everybody in LA loves you.
And returning to become the Los Angeles Rams again. It's going to be huge.
Yes.
I don't know if they could take the Redskins, though.
And everybody knows the NFL is fixed. So it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. This is as fixed as Vince McMahon's fucking breakfast.
Absolutely.
Every day the same thing.
And
fucking grapefruit and a side of dry muffin.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Every day.
Oh.
Yeah. And black coffee. 7 cups.
That part's not so bad.
Yeah, but with grapefruit? Oh.
That's a lot of acidity.
Yeah, it is.
The big news yesterday, clearing the way for a NFL franchise in Las Vegas, would be the NHL expanding into Las Vegas, the first major sport. So the Raiders are probably, I don't know, a year away from going to Vegas.
Vegas Raiders. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to win the Super Bowl in 2 years.
2 years.
Can't wait.
I feel like Raiders doesn't sound like Vegas. The names just don't go together.
So what would you put in Vegas? Eagles?
No, it's just can they just have
Showgirl?
a different name? Just like Vegas Raiders doesn't sound right.
The Las Vegas Raiders. We're here to raid your money that you came in with.
About the Gamblers? No.
Now that wasn't it an old USFL?
Yeah, it was a USFL name, yeah.
Houston?
Yes.
Or Houston, as you pronounce it, Johnny?
No, that's downtown.
You know something, Johnny? We need to start talking about the big Thanksgiving show this year, too. We got to pull together the plans for that.
Is that before we do our crabbing show? Because I really want to do this live crabbing show.
I know, but ever since Gail said boil, I've been quite grossed out.
Crab boil is
Gail
a thing.
loves boils. Ugh.
You've never eaten boiled crabs in your life. You come from a steamed background.
Yeah, but I mean, a crab boil is a thing. It's like all the food goes in. It's like a type of party.
What do you in the pot?
I don't know. I've never made one. I just know it's a term. It's like you throw corn and crabs and other stuff.
Where's this? Louisiana? They do shit like this?
I make them in the red sauce.
Ooh, that I love.
Yeah, we do them in either that or a little oregano.
I'd rather do that than sit around fucking hitting them with a hammer all day to get a fucking half ounce of meat. Crab meat.
There is not a lot of stuff going on in there, is there?
No, there's not a lot in a crab.
It's more fun to catch them.
I don't know if that's even fun. You take a string, you pull it up, and you put a net underneath it. I find it's like ladling soup. It's the same fucking process.
Monotonous.
Johnny, we got a spy report from the world of rock, so you'll want to stay on for this.
Uh-oh.
We have a spy report.
Spy report.
David in Tennessee.
Hey, Ronnie. Yeah, Led Zeppelin wins. They did not lose their copyright infringement suit.
There's a
apparently they didn't steal it from
lady,
Spirit.
no. So it does not sound like Spirit.
According to the jurors, it didn't sound enough like it.
Yeah, I would never be able to pick that out if I was sitting on a jury. I wouldn't get it in a million years. All right, so there you have it. Led Zeppelin, the most creative band of all time.
Safe.
And this does not sound like anything that Spirit has ever done. It just sounds like Led Zeppelin. That's all. That's it.
These poor Spirit guys were probably the ones, their families are out spending money. And I was like, damn it. I thought we were going to win.
Put that fucking mint coat back.
Johnny.
Love that version.
He's climbing the stairway to Hard Rock. Is this Spirit?
This is Zeppelin.
Wow. See, I can't tell the difference.
Me either.
No, just
Can't believe I
I feel like I'm getting the lead out, you know? Finally getting the lead out for a change. Give us like a female radio announcer announcing that Led Zeppelin won.
Breaking news. Led Zeppelin is just...
Stay with it. Stay with it.
I started to rasp. Hold on, I need moisture.
Oh.
Why is that gross?
Rough word.
So there it is, Led Zeppelin, greatest band of all time. All right, thanks, Jenny.
Later, Bennington.
Peace. Here is Stephen, Alabama.
Hey, Ron, I was going to tell you that The Wayward Pines is based off of 3 books. They're actually good. I tried to watch the first season of that, and it just got real stupid. But the books are good. So just read the books and then stop watching the show. I can just tell you what happened.
Yeah, I can't sit around and read a sci-fi book. I'm an adult now, you know? It's too difficult. You know, I get into fucking mutants and spaceships. I'm like, what am I doing? It's like reading a cartoon.
Chris, no, you didn't like sci-fi, you just like fantasy,
I
right?
like both.
Oh.
I don't like when sci-fi and fantasy are mixed together. I think they should be separate.
That gets weird.
Yeah.
Sci-fantasy?
Rich, Portland.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the fact that we have the Dungeness crab in Oregon, and the most.
That's not a crab.
Oh, no?
No, my friend. A crab comes from the Chesapeake Bay. Anything else is just make-believe stuff.
Sea mutant.
Yeah.
I think you're intently crabby about these crabs.
You know what? That's a very good point, and because of that, you're going into the pretty good prize closet.
Yeah!
It's a pretty good prize. It's a pretty good prize. Prize closet. We have good prizes. It's a pretty good prize. It's a pretty good prize. Prize closet. We're pretty good prizes.
Hey man, guess what you're going home with today? My Big Fat Greek Wedding, signed by Rita Wilson.
Whoa! Nice. That somehow ties in with crabs. I don't know how.
Is it a Greek dish?
Tomorrow morning, 8:30, we are going to light it up with Comedy 101 over on Opie Radio. That's 8:30 a.m. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Are you mistakenly giving the prize to John in Texas instead of Rich in Oregon?
Rich?
No, they were. He was just accidentally on the phone.
Okay, because I want to go to John in Texas here. He has a way for us to vote. John.
Hey there, how y'all doing today?
Good.
Good, man. Listen, I knew y'all were talking about Gary Johnson yesterday, and I just wanted to say he needs 15% in the polls in order to be at the debate. So the laws are so draconian at this point, it's really, really difficult for a third party to get in. So, I mean, I'm a supporter personally, and I want him to be in there. But even if you don't, we need to be plugging this guy as hard as possible, because if we want to break this two-party system, he has to make the debate. And
I'm all with you on that, but where is his excitement level? Where is his...
Oh, it's not there. It's non-existent. He has the excitement of Meatloaf. Now, he's a badass. Don't get away from that. He climbed every mountain, highest mountain in all seven.
Climb every mountain, for every dog. I would love to have a big, strong third party. I was hoping Trump was going to be my third party guy. My initial vote as a voter was for a third party candidate. My second vote was for a different third party candidate. I never got around to, until I was in a George Bush world, ever voting for one of the large parties. I think I even took an election or two off there for a while. But I would love it. I just wish that he would pull his shit together and Bernie Sanders this thing up. He could be getting a lot of the Bernie Sanders people. He could be getting a lot of the people that are Republicans, but they're anti-Trump. But he's got to work for it. I ain't going to give it to him.
Yeah, the two-party system seems like something that if most people talked it out, they would say that they didn't support it, but it's all based on this fear of voting outside and taking votes away from whatever left-leaning or right-leaning candidate It's like one of these.
If we could just get out of the left leaning and right leaning and realize that people have different things that motivate them, some on the right, some on the left. But it's not going to happen. I call it the two-party system.
Good.
As a way of getting even. Yeah. Yeah. And it's a way of just saying, look, it's not working for me. It's gas. Gail, what's gotten into your noggin? What's Gail thinking about?
Well, Oliver Stone is saying that...
Talk about a third-party motherfucker.
Oliver Stone is calling out the big tech giants. This is in an interview that he was doing about Snowden, which he's doing a new film. And he was saying that the tech giants are to blame for having worked closely with the government, creating this state where we're being spied on all the time. And companies like Google, companies like Facebook and Microsoft have been playing into that hand
Big tech,
and working alongside with them. And
you know what? It's a nice fascist government that we have. It's good. Worked out for Germany. It can work out for us.
Well, everybody was all up in arms. This was like maybe a couple days ago, 2 days ago, because Mark Zuckerberg had a picture. There was a picture of him, and in the background was his laptop, and he had tape over the laptop's camera.
Well, how many days a week do you think hackers are trying to break into Mark Zuckerberg stuff? I mean, it's got to be pretty. It's got to be pretty common. But anyone I know, and that always tells me to tape up. But I'm just like, hey, I'm just hanging out.
Look at me.
I never use the camera though. Do you?
On a laptop? No.
Never.
I don't video chat with people.
Why would you?
Fucking phone. That's what it's for.
I used to Skype with my little cousins, but now
they got sick of you.
Well, yeah, they did get sick of me. But now everybody just ends up doing the FaceTime. That was
You should get Sweetie on the phone one day.
I would like to have Sweetie on the phone.
Book it. You want me to have Chris book her?
No, I'll take
Chris
care
knows how to do
Please.
it.
Stop circling down the name Sweetie.
Done. Ron's done. I think more people should be busting his balls for the stupid picture he took where he's like, as a real life Instagram fucking...
Dude, you're wearing the same fucking shirt as him. You're two gray boys.
I might be a gray boy, but I'm not trying to be in an Instagram photo in real life.
You actually even have the same haircut as him.
Yeah.
You fucking changed, dude.
Yeah.
You're so Facebook.
You're a Greyjoy.
I try to model myself after the Facebook guys. Zooks. I call them Zooks.
You mean all the Facebooks instead of just the one?
But Facebook.
But I still call it the Facebook.
Johnny Go-Go said he laughed at Stairway to Hard Rock on the plane. Where's he flying off to? He's always on a plane somewhere.
No, he's busy.
Yeah.
Make sure you cover up your laptop, though. Johnny Go-Go. They're all looking for us. And the new Oliver Stone movie looks insane. The Edward Snowden. Did you see the trailer for it?
Oh, is this a documentary?
No, it's a movie. I believe Shia LaBeouf might be Snowden.
Oh, come on. That can't be true.
I'll double check.
It already means that the fucking movie is a joke. He's running down the street barking at people.
I don't think he's playing Snowden.
It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I get those two mixed up.
Why? One makes sense and the other's a nut.
There's two young white dudes who are also kid actors with dark hair.
It's white stuff.
That's racist.
You're the exact opposite of white supremacy.
But
I would like to take you to the Nazi party, which is still running Germany to this day, and say, see, white people aren't all you guys cranked it up to be. Look at fucking Stanley.
Maybe rethink your whole fucking plan.
No kidding.
I will go see this, though.
I want to see it.
When's the last time you went to a theater to see an Oliver Stone film?
W.
Thank you. And that made you say never again?
Yeah, then that's
Stone was a very interesting guy. And then it started to unravel. I've talked to him. He's fucking oddly brilliant. And then he's just like, out of nowhere, he'll be talking like a lot of sense. And then we'll go, obviously, JFK knew about the aliens for quite some time. And he was working with the underground KKK to suppress that. He is a guy who's crazy, but never yells. He just sits quietly and talks that. Remember we were at that post 9/11 thing?
Yeah, it was, we went to this, it was like a little round table discussion. Yeah. He was there, Vachon,
Christine Vachon.
Christine Vachon was there. So it was all filmmakers talking about.
And the writer, the Women Aren't Funny writer, the famous atheist. And I can't think of, he passed away 2 years ago.
Chris
Stanley.
Christopher Hitchens. So Hitchens was getting so furious at Oliver Stone because Stone was like, yeah, I hope to make a movie. The opening scene will take place in a terrorist camp. We'll get to know them, follow right along, and fucking Hitchens, just veins were coming out of his neck. He was so pissed off. I just thought Stone was an idiot.
He was like, why wouldn't we have a great film about Al-Qaeda, follow what it's like to go through? He's like, I think this is great. This is weeks after 9/11.
We're still smoldering.
Yeah,
we're still smoldering in the city.
And he's already planning. And
it was my first laughs after 9/11. I was just fucking biting on my arm. I was laughing so hard.
And the audience started to boo him as he went on to talk about this. And it was the first time in my life I actually heard a person hiss. So people were like booing, and then one woman just was like, hiss, hiss. And I was like, I didn't know people really did that. It was so strange. I didn't even think it was real. Oh, hiss.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt knew about this, predicted it many, many years ago. He'll just get into these things that are so weird and so into it. He just does it in a monotone thing. But you can't say that he's also not brilliant at the same time. But there's nothing about him that his level in his filmmaking, I'm going to say since Platoon. It was like the last kind of level filmmaking he did at all. After that, everything was always turned upside down and crazy and weird.
It's obsessive. Yeah, like it always just comes off as obsessive.
And just real parody and caricature to the cat. You know what I mean? They're not people. If you watch that W thing, they were nuts. He acts like the Bush family are these fucking hot rod hillbillies just being, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can see there's plenty of things to disagree with him on, but they're not fucking two-dimensional cartoon characters.
What do you think is the best political movie of all time?
So Chris's sigh there.
Did I upset you?
Hilarious. Well, because I was immediately going to go to All the President's Men, but that's on the outside of politics. But that's a movie that you could say, why didn't I, get involved in this lifestyle a long time ago? The new one that's on LBJ that I think Showtime ran is pretty interesting. But most of the time, if you watch a political thing, it seems like it's a lot more exciting than it is. It's a lot of hurry up and wait in politics and a lot of bullshitting. Is there one for you that you like?
I think, for me, my favorite of all time is Wag the Dog. And I still think about that movie.
Yeah, but that is parody.
It's parody,
right?
But it was very strange because you remember it came out just before the Lewinsky scandal.
Yeah.
And then people started to be like, whoa, this is very similar because I believe there was something during the... I can't remember what it was, but there was something during the Lewinsky scandal.
First of all, there was a picture, and the movie was done first, but he was with I think they called him a Firefly girl, but she was wearing the same hat that Lewinsky was wearing and was looking up at the president the same way. But that movie, I get off the fucking bus the second Woody Harrelson comes out with that goofy character. Right up to that point, I think it's hilarious. The Fad King with Dennis is one of the funniest things I've ever seen done. It's very, very good, but it unravels at the end of it. Chris, are you done your sighing? Do you got one?
I always love Bulworth, but that's a comedy.
Okay, sit around. No, it's Bulworth. That's my problem. Not that it's a comedy.
Bulworth. I love it.
You're a fucking Bulworth, dude.
I mean, I'll give you the soundtrack with Ghetto Superstar for sure. That I'll give you.
I mean, that got me in the theater.
People are writing, what about Joey Jojo? Joey is, we'll make an announcement on him later. He's trying to do something with his career. We all got our fingers crossed. And Vito has been learning the board lately. Vito, how are you feeling on the board?
I feel pretty good.
You feel happening?
I feel happening and now.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know about Vito. He's a good guy. We all know that.
Yeah.
But is he going to be there in the wet ass hour?
Does he have the horse sense?
And that's what matters.
What are you reading?
Oh, no, nothing. I was just going to hand you a paper.
For what?
For a little bit later on.
Oh, the Comedy 101 comics. I forgot all about this.
Yeah.
Is that coming up like at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, right.
All right, so these are some of the youngsters that are going to be, that you'll be able to hear tomorrow in Comedy 101. We were interested in getting them to come back in to see if their feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
Because some of them didn't get the amount of material out that they were hoping for.
And I also just wanted a chance to talk to them. I barely got to speak to any of them
None of them.
afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to be stopping by, and I completely forgot about that. Well, we got so deep into Bullworth.
Well, I didn't realize you went so deep with it.
Yeah,
love it.
And Dan Perlman will be coming in as well.
Dan Perlman, the king of comics, the king of cartoons.
DP.
I think if this thing works out, he's going to be hosting a Saturday morning cartoon show for children. I think that's what his gig is.
It's really exciting.
Yeah. Are you hoping everything works out for Joey? He's always been such a great, loyal, fun guy.
Yeah, I just want all the best things for Joey.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Well, you went through your corporate Chris thing for a while. Joey's into corporate Joe. Gail, you should go through a corporate period.
I don't think I'm right for corporate environment.
This show is such a great training ground for people that once you do this show, you're able to do any show on radio. The number of people who I've worked with over the years are able to go out and do stuff, phenomenal. It's one of the few things in my life I can actually be proud of.
That's a testament to you.
I would think that, but then, I was the one that had to say it. So you don't know whether that could be true or not.
You look around these halls, they're filled with ex-interns of yours, too.
I don't know why I'm reading this thing. All right. Mike Kaka got on a plane, and there's going to be a movie premiere on his flight, a documentary about the Olympic team, and they're giving everybody free Garrett's popcorn. Life have gotten crazy.
That's bizarre.
How can you just say on the movie, we're going to debut a film on your little tiny fucking screen?
So it's like the world premiere is on this flight?
Yes.
Wow.
They're doing the premiere.
And then they didn't even know about it? It was like you get a world premiere and then Garrett's
Surprise,
popcorn?
everyone.
I think they just try to fucking tell you anything so you forget you're up in the air. Somebody will look out the window and just scream to the pilot, looks like we're up in the air right now.
Shh, look at this screen. Look at this screen right here.
You think Joey will get it?
I have all the faith in the world in him.
You've been working him through step by step? Because he's been like a brother to you.
Yeah, really close. Really close.
And I know to you too, Gail.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been like a brother to him.
Yeah.
Vito's hoping for the best, so he moves up a seat. How are you feeling you're doing so far, Vito?
Hi.
I feel pretty good. I hope you guys
are
no. happy.
Oh, no. Not one of us.
We can never be happy.
Not one of us thinks you're doing well. Don't let that get to you, though.
Well, I just got to keep working then.
No, you... First of all, the gig the other night ran so smoothly. You were a very big part of that. You and Coach Chris.
Yes.
Got to work on that opening. Mm-hmm. My idea, you do the opening live.
All right.
I'd love to see that.
No timing. First of all, this is twice I've done a live show with Chris where the intro starts halfway through. I don't know how that could happen.
It's very strange.
What, are you testing it so many times?
No, I'm testing it. It sounds fine in the test.
Yes, and then you got to rewind. You can't just fucking start midway through. This thing started with, and Gail Bennington. And the fucking people are like, what? No, but that whole great drumming intro leading up to it. All right, Tim Knight said $10. Says both Gail and Hicks are late tomorrow morning.
That will not happen again.
I don't know what you're implying, Tim Knight.
I mean, maybe Gail, but not me.
Johnny Gogo also thinks you're going to be late tomorrow.
Chris is?
Yeah.
I think it's very possible.
I got the VR thing under control.
Yeah, that was last time was a VR mistake in which he stayed up like a little kid watching with a new video game all night long.
You can watch a title fight, and it looks like you're in the goddamn ring. It's ridiculous.
Do it in times that you don't have work, though.
Good
Do it in
point.
time when you should not be sleeping. You know what I mean? Do it on your own time.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Haven't we always said having interests are great?
Yeah.
You know, you should have a hobby.
Look, every night I go home and I play electronic football where I set up the little man on that thing, and you know, it's fun for me.
Yeah.
I paint the little helmets different colors. I put up the fake stands around it.
Sounds great.
It's cool.
But I make sure I get a solid night's sleep, and I come up here and do what I like to call a bang-up job for Sirius.
See, the thing was, I was very excited because the first day I had the Samsung headset.
I've been in the same position. I've made purchases that I was happy about. You know,
I just so rarely make purchases.
I understand. But then you go into work. You can't say I got a new car, so I drove to Oklahoma instead of coming to work. You just can't do that.
I know. All right, I've got it under control. Trust me, I will be here on
I will
time.
say this. Vito has never been late for a show.
It's true. He has never been late.
I try to always be at least 5 minutes early.
But one of the things I found out, I don't think he goes home. I don't think he has a home. I think he walks around the streets like Will Smith with his young son.
If you're homeless, you need to tell us.
Me and Leslie are on the rocks.
He's not so much homeless as he is helpless.
He did ask me to watch Big Brother with him last night, so we did watch it together in the office, which was odd. I was like, don't you want to go home to watch your television?
Why are you guys still hanging around the office that time of night?
To watch Big Brother. I did it for him because he seemed very sad. He was like, just, you can watch it with me? Like, okay, Vito, just this one time.
I was just trying to bond with Chris. It finally
that's
worked
sweet.
one time.
I find it uncomfortable.
I was uncomfortable, Rod.
All right, let's break. Comedy 101 is tomorrow at 8:30, then Ali Wong at 2 o'clock. There's also going to be a big comedy star hanging out on our show tomorrow that we're excited about, but I don't want to see his name yet unless we don't have him.
Yeah, not yet.
Should I just say?
No,
Say it really quiet.
No.
What are you worried that he's not coming?
Look, I think it'll be a great surprise because he's a person we all love.
I know, but does this mean that we're not getting him because you're afraid?
No, we have him.
Do you ever see Jimmy Fallon go, I'm afraid to announce who we have tomorrow in case my booker doesn't fucking believe in himself? It doesn't happen.
Please, for his fears. For his fears, I'd rather not tell you.
All right, the name of the film that he's watching is Destination Team USA. And Adam Hootnick directed it. And it debuts on the Newark to Chicago Air flight this afternoon.
Very strange.
And everyone's also getting a free Tribeca Film Fest messenger bag. Was that a messenger bag that we handed out from the iBang?
No, that's like a sport. What do you call that?
It's a drawstring bag.
Yeah.
A drawstring bag.
Yes.
I didn't even know that had a name like that.
No.
I just call them bags.
They're very popular with the young
Oh, youngsters love them.
urban youth.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them all the time. People love them.
Lightweight. You can put like a t-shirt or some shorts
See,
in there.
I saw
Yes, anything you want to put in a bag.
Yes. I understand what things need to be carried in a bag. Could be oranges.
I don't know. The papers even?
So I saw Seth Rogen on TV the other night, and that he said, like, a few years back, like 10 years ago, his dad was just looking at his mom's purse and says, this makes sense, and just started carrying a handbag.
Yeah.
And Seth brought it up on TV, and then the people sent more handbags to Seth to give to his dad, like the people who make these handbags. And I try to do, I don't have a handbag, but I try to wear a jacket, so I have another 8 pockets.
I hate having a bag. It drives me fucking crazy.
I despise a bag.
I don't like a bag. I don't like having an umbrella. I don't like carrying things in my hand when I'm walking to places.
Why don't you get one of those umbrella hats for yourself?
That's perfect for you.
That's the direction I'm headed in.
I feel weird if I don't have a bag.
That makes me feel crazy.
Yeah.
You just said that.
I feel strange. I have so many things I need with me.
I've never known a woman who didn't carry a bag. Not one. My entire life. And I see women playing sports, like they're playing soccer, the women's soccer team, and they'll still have bags on their shoulder in case they need something out there. See, women have to think about a lot of other things that we do. There's no kind of masculine products that we need to carry around.
I have so many products in that bag.
Yeah. Crazy. Why is it crazy, Chris?
No,
We're
you've met a woman,
it
right?
Seems like yes, but it seems like women are carrying even more bags now. They seem,
No, come on, get out of here.
Now you're trying to go in a direction where women are carrying 3 bags.
Stop it. That's
At least
just
2.
not true.
NBC women are always carrying 2 bags. It's
You
crazy.
pointed out to me once, okay?
I will.
I wouldn't just say it once. And I'll tell you something right now. I'd rather stuff everything in my pockets before I wore a little fucking knapsack like these fucking effeminate schoolboy men I see walking around New York. You're in a suit, you're wearing that little fucking backpack. Get out of here, dude. You look like you're on your way to Cub Scout camp.
Well, the problem is that if you don't have a car, a lot of people, if you have a car, then you bring stuff in your car. Maybe you just have like a little plastic bag. If you have something, you bring it in. But if you're a New
know
Yorker,
how a car works. We get it. You're not have to
We know.
explain.
There's storage in the car, Gail. I know.
And by the way, the 2 bags that you're seeing are women with their gym clothes, by the way. Those are gym clothes.
Crazy talk.
What do you mean crazy talk?
Can I tell you something? I got an idea. We could have a product. What if we come out for women only, Jane clothes? So they're not wearing gym clothes like a man.
Oh.
They're wearing Jane clothes.
I like that.
Yeah. Shark Tank, I think it's time for you to break out a sweat of money. Huh? Who wants to get on the Jane Clothes Stairmaster? Look at me, Mr. Wonderful. What about you? We've got one for you. These are Jane panties that you can put on when you're cross-dressed. Now, it's $6 million for 3% of my business. So far, all I have is the name Jane Clothes. But I already have the song written if you guys want to hear it.
Sure.
Jane Clothes, you're not dressing like a dude. It's right here in this handbag. Well, and then this is fucking Robert. Oh, these are comfortable. These are nice. They're tasty, too. Delicious. Everything is delicious that I'm eating.
Can you put little dogs on these?
I'm a black man, so therefore I'm out. Mark, what about you? You've kept quiet. Still thinking about it. Mark, this would be great that you could do with your basketball team. It always comes back to that. And we can sell these cookies at the basketball fucking arena.
I have an arena.
These cookies.
I'll put fucking Dirk in Jane Clothes tomorrow. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lend you the money, but I want $7 back for everything that you sell for the rest of your life. And I want to move into your house and have sex when your children hit 18. I want to have sex with them, both female and male. I hope that's not too much of a rough deal for everybody. Do you mind if I go outside and think about it? If you go outside, it's gone. Any thinking by you is done. 35%. You got 8 seconds to know whether your entire life changes. I do like the idea of carrying a Jane bag. Get hold of Jane Magazine. Tell them, A, stop sending stuff to me.
Okay, Jane Magazine.
Jane used to do a show out of here. I met Jane from Jane Magazine.
Really?
Yeah. She's really, really... I know it's probably not feminist to say, but I thought she was adorable.
Yeah, I mean, what happened with Jane Magazine?
I don't know what happened with any fucking magazines.
Is it mostly a website now, like Exo Jane?
Yeah, everything.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I met. I met Exo Jane. When I saw her exoskeleton.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's on the outside of her body somehow.
Sick.
We're making the kids wait. Comedy 101 tomorrow at 8:30. We're going to be back in with Hugh Chatfield, Eric Lerman, Eagle Wit, and our own Dan Perlman. Find out what they thought of this, particularly when we get to you, because Hugh Chatfield freaked out the audience with his special challenge that he deals with. But I thought he was fantastic. We'll be right back. Bennington. It's the Bennington Show. Tomorrow morning on Opie Radio at 8:30 a.m. we premiere Comedy 101. So it was a hilarious night of comedy. Dan Perlman booked the guests. Now, Dan, I had a chance to talk to some of the young comedians as they were coming off stage.
Yes.
And they were somewhat surprised about the format. They thought they would have more time to do.
No, well, I explained to them clearly, just as I did the first time. I think some of them may have thought that they'd be able to get out more material than they did without the judges interjecting. Right. But I did warn them. I was like, they have that bell, and they're going to be dinging it whenever they want. So just be aware of that.
It's an obstacle course.
Yeah. The guy who drew the unlucky straw of being first out is here. Why don't you introduce him to everybody?
This is my friend Eric Lerman, who's a funny comic who I've known for like 2 years now, maybe?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Eric, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
3 years.
3 years.
I pretty much met Dan as soon as I moved up here.
All right, so where'd you come up from?
I was living in Philly before this, but I'm originally from Glens Falls, New York, upstate.
So, how'd you end up in Philly from Glens Falls?
I went to college in Pennsylvania.
Where'd you go?
Marywood and Scranton.
Sure. I'm from the Philadelphia area myself, so comedy scene there is happening where just Helium now? Is it?
I wasn't even participating.
Oh, you weren't
in
even
it
part of
there.
that?
Yeah.
So you started doing comedy in New York?
Yeah, I started as soon as I moved up here.
I always think that is a hindrance. You know what I mean? Like, because you can get more time out in the sticks. You know, and it's tough to get time in New York City.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it both ways, because on the one hand, right, like you're saying, you get shorter blocks of time.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like a motivator, because everyone around you is so good, you have no choice but to get better. And there are times when, like, there are times people move from other cities like Chicago or some places in Florida, and they come here and they kill it. But then sometimes I've seen comics, they move here from other cities, and they just get overwhelmed by how the scene is, because they were the best guy in Tampa or whatever.
Yeah.
And they come here and nobody gives a fuck. And they got to go back to doing 3-minute sets. And you're like, what the fuck? I was just featuring for fucking Gaffigan or whoever when he was down there. So it's like, it could be a jarring thing.
It's interesting because you can make a lot of money being the best guy in Tampa, and then you come here and people are just like a couple bucks a set, if at all.
Right.
So, Eric, when you came out that night, you're part of the reason of doing this is you got to go to a different club, jump up, get a little exposure, and there you are looking at Robert Kelly, Bonnie McFarlane, Rich Voss, basically the old tough crowd.
Yeah.
And they're nailing you with lines as you're trying to get off a couple jokes.
Mm-hmm.
What was the feeling like?
Oh, well, I thought, like, right from the bat, they would just love everything I did. And I thought they would be like, hey, I get the format of this show, but this guy's the real deal. Let's just let him do his thing. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I was probably a little more familiar with the Comedy 101 format than some of the other guys. I had watched the previous show.
Right.
So I, like, knew what to expect. I knew they were just going to rip on me and just roll with it. And, like, that's the point of the show. It's fine.
I think that the funny thing about it is it's whoever stopped to come back at them lost more footing than the people who just kept going,
just plowed ahead
forward.
Yeah.
But it is hard in this environment it's hard for me to believe, because even like Big J will invite me to something and we'll go up there, and after a few minutes you get the light, and I'm like, well, this guy just had a big Comedy Central special.
Right.
I thought, we're doing well, but there's more people to put up all the time.
We'll light you at 7, Jay. We're sorry, but please don't run the light.
But the same thing happens at the Cellar, and now tell people from around the country, and Dan, you're in the same position. Before you get spotted by people at the Cellar, how long does that normally take?
Years.
Years.
I mean, there are guys who have been on TV. There are guys who are beasts who you can see kill at any club or any room around the city, and they're not at the Cellar yet. So, I mean, that stuff, it takes a very long time. But that's good, because when you get there, that's still one of those things where it's like, oh, that's one of those validations.
One of those extra validations.
Yeah.
Now, there are some young people who get in from time to time. It's always surprising. But, we had Doug Smith in not too long ago. And he's just on Conan. destroys it.
He did
Right.
But it doesn't mean that he's not going to stop walking dogs.
I am a dog walker with Doug. I know him better as a dog walker.
Now, what was it like for you to see him go on Conan and do that set? Because it was a perfect TV set.
He did great, but you should see him walk dogs.
Never give that up. That's his true place.
He doesn't stop at 5 minutes.
But I remember when I was a kid, once I saw somebody on TV, I would think to myself, well, they've got a giant house, a swimming pool, convertible. I thought that that life was just great.
Yeah, especially anyone you would see on TV. Especially if you see them on TV, that's a rich person.
Yes.
Oh, okay. They have a wonderful life.
Right. I mean, I was talking to one comic who is like at the Cellar, and he's like at that level, and he was talking about, you remember that Seinfeld documentary, Comedian?
Yes.
It was him and Orny Adams.
Yes.
And he was saying it was a weird experience rewatching it recently because he's like above where Orny Adams was.
Right.
And he probably first saw it when he like first started comedy or whatever. So in his head, and me too, when I'm watching that, I'm like, oh, well, he's a big professional now, and it's weird to then be at the point of like, oh no, he was just a guy that was like probably terrified about not getting spots at clubs and was getting put up once, twice a month at a certain room, if that.
Yeah.
And
I watched that, and I didn't know that Orny Adams was the heel, and then I heard it from other people, like, you believe that asshole? And I'm like, who are you talking about? The guy who is scraping to get that fucking shot? No, I didn't know that he was supposed to be a dick. You know, when he got management and he was excited, people were like, this fucking jerk. And I'm like, what? What do you want from this dude? He's swimming upstream as hard as he can.
What he and everyone who's trying to do this it's just impossible.
Yes.
What you're trying to do.
Yes, and I was actually thinking about this not too long ago. How many guys, if you came to New York in the early 90s, were doing great in the club scene, and how many of them you don't see now. Now, some guys go on and do what Dan has done and produce a cartoon for people, But, so they might be behind the scenes and are making more money than anybody you went to high school with. But you think in your head, oh, that guy blew it. You know what I mean? He used to get, 2 Letterman spots a year, and now he's gone. So do you let yourself, Eric, have a plan, or do you just go every day, you treat it like an addict, one day at a time?
Yeah, one day at a time. Like, I don't have any 5-year plan or anything. I just, I like doing comedy. I like telling jokes, and I figure if I just keep my head down and keep after it, either something's going to happen or it's not. But
we're talking about Comedy 101, which premieres Friday morning. We're going to premiere it at 8:30 and then run it all weekend. What did you think of the judges? Did you think they were funny? Do you overall like their acts, or?
Yeah, I like all of them. I know Robert Kelly, I've been watching his new show on FX. Yeah. They're super talents. It's hard to argue that they're not great at what they do.
I also think what's really funny about New York comedy is the way that they were acting that night, is the way they treat each other, the way they... for me, these guys, they don't go, oh, I love you and I think you're great. They will recognize you, bust your balls, and then that's an appreciation for what each other does. So I thought that was a fun experience for the contestants, just to walk up and see what it'd be like to be sitting at the table at the Cellar.
And they came up to us after the show, and they were all super nice. They couldn't have been more supportive and everything. And it's just they were just, treating us as they would each other.
Yeah, Voss was saying, I saw him walk over and he was like, look, we just got to get laughs too. None of you took that anything personally. He's like, I got to get laughs also, so I'm not going to sit there and you shit on me.
Well, since Eric is first, it's very funny because when we're upstairs, they're like, did you guys, and I didn't get to see any of you guys until you get out. And he goes these guys not knowing, they think it's, I go, no, Dan has explained this to him. Everybody, Dan is a comic. They all get it. And he goes, look, I don't think Kelly is saying this, and Voss. Bonnie said, I'll be fine. And then they pounced on so quickly when Eric came out that it was like, these are the same guys who seconds before was saying, I'm probably not going to do this. You know what I mean?
I know.
They were like, this isn't my thing to do. And it was up to them. But again, if anybody ever watched tough crowd. None of them give each other a chance. But I remember Jim Norton said to me once, and I'll never forget this line. He says, when he's down and everybody's busting his balls, he says he's always smiling because he's like, the funniest people in the world are making fun of me right now. I am in this thing where I'm getting pounded by the most talented people in the world.
Attell said I looked like Frodo once, and that was great. That's great. I'll remember that.
Was that at that Thanksgiving?
Was multiple Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that night, and then everyone said for you to do stand-up in front of them, you're like,
no chance.
Yeah.
No, Comedy 101 hadn't been born then.
No.
But I wasn't about to be the inaugural.
All right, thank you so much, Eric. Now, at Lerman, we'll put this up on our Twitter too for people to get in touch as they hear this. But we'd like to have you come back and sit in with Doug.
Yeah,
with us sometime.
that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
We'd love to. It's great to see you, buddy.
Hey, guys, thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Who do we got next, Chris?
Eagle Wit.
Oh, Eagle Wit. Now, I saw Eagle walking up, and Eagle gives off the feel, and I don't know how long he's been doing this, but you give off the feel of somebody who's been a performer for a long time. Am I right about that? Between acting, maybe music, stand-up?
Stand-up.
What's the longest? How long you been doing this?
Consistently, almost 2 years.
Yeah, doesn't he seem like somebody, you have a way about you that there's a comfort level with you. That takes some people a lot of years to get to. Dan hasn't got there yet. Dan makes everybody feel uneasy.
Constantly.
But
he's great in the cartoon. Have you seen the cartoon?
Let me tell you something. That cartoon makes me feel so uncomfortable. And I'm like, I can't believe Dan. Because I don't understand.
You don't think
it.
he would make a black cartoon?
How's the cartoon come along, Dan?
It's really good. Yeah. So the first, we got a draft in. We're getting notes on it. We'll probably move to that pre-production casting phase.
What are you doing with my character? I forgot his name.
Uncle Dab Dabs.
Uncle Dab Dabs. Is he still?
Always dabbing.
Yeah, he's dabbing.
Doing dabbing.
He's doing a dab, which I hope doesn't get dated. You know what I mean? I hope that doesn't quickly
That's
become
what we'd like to get this off the
Latin
ground.
hustle. You know?
I'm trying to accelerate that.
Yeah. Have other comics, by the way, asked you about doing this? Because I think Eagle would be perfect for your cartoon.
Oh, ask about doing the cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably the worst experience was I walk in to some bar show and there's almost nobody there, and the dude on stage, he's like, after the news came out, he's like, "Hey Dan, I do voiceovers." He says this while he's on stage. I'm like, just do your jokes, man. What are you asking?
Pitching you while he's
on stage. Like, so clearly the set wasn't going well. So now you're just going to talk to me from the stage.
But everyone thinks they can do. They don't think they can do impressions, but they think they can do a voice.
Yeah, I'll just talk as me.
Oh yeah, I have a voice.
Quack. What about this guy?
No,
I guess so.
Wait a minute. That is good. That is good.
Damn.
Now, Eagle, I remember you saying to me, well, almost every performer said, "Is that it?" when they were done. But you said that you normally tell stories on stage.
Well, yeah, that's why when I got on stage, because before I got on stage, all the comics in the back that were just watching were like, "Oh, Eagle, why would you sign up for this? Like, this isn't going to go good."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" and they don't let us see the performers before us, so I was just like, I was blinded to it, so I was like, "Well, what's going to happen?" And they're like, "Well, basically, you're not going to get a joke out." And they're like, maybe if you do one-liners. And I'm like, well, I don't do one-liners. Like, all my jokes are long stories with build-up.
Yeah.
So that's why I just stood on stage for the first 2 minutes just looking at them like, all right, just go ahead.
I remember because I think it was the lone female. We only had one female.
Yeah, Jessica.
Right? And Jessica. And since the boys liked Jessica and her shirt so much, and that they were hitting the bells staring at her, that Bonnie did it when Eagle came out. Bonnie did the same bit back. And that had me laughing very hard. So she was basically saying, she digs your look, but you're just staring at her like I didn't
know what was happening.
Yeah.
You're like, is this bad? Have I been gonged? Do I walk off stage?
Yeah. Now, I know what this feels like because when I do Doug Benson's show, Doug Loves Movies, I have no idea what his audience, they come in, they have signs, and and there's a huge amount of people, and you start to feel high. You're like, there's something everyone here knows, but man, I've done a show twice. And I kind of love that feeling of, I feel like I'm in a nightmare. I feel Like, you look down to see if your pants are on because it feels that far from the truth. So that was your initial thing, is just feeling stunned.
No, it was more just like, all right, so if they get stuff out, I could have a rebuttal. Like, it was more like, I didn't even care about the set at that point because I knew it was going to work. I was just like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. I was like, let's try to make it work.
Now, what's funny is, and Dan, you've seen this before, the rebuttal normally doesn't work with the audience. There's certain lines that can work, but generally, and you had a guy or two in this that the audience didn't take to.
Right.
I think it was the second guy up who's pretty aggressive.
Kevin Goatee. Yeah.
Yeah. And
came in hot.
Yeah.
He needs to use his name. By the way, the one guy that sucked.
Well, I don't think. I think it's almost impossible to say who was good and who was bad. You can only say who got over.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it seems like the audience will go for people who seem to be good sports about it.
Right. I mean, I was trying to remember to the first time, because when I remember the first time was that the expectations, and maybe it was as the show went on at the Hard Rock, the expectations for the contestants were so low that when they did get a line out, it was met with a huge thing. So I remember Rachel Joan got some line out about to Voss or somebody like, oh, you're old enough to be my dad. And it was like, whoa! Like it turned Def Jam just because she had a minor pushback. But I think maybe if you come in aggressive up front, you got to let them hit you first.
Yeah, you've got to, like you said, you got to be somewhat of a good sport about it. Like, I don't know if Voss could go out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Under those circumstances and do well if he was in the other seat. I don't know if anybody could, but
if you have any temper whatsoever, it would be not easy.
Yeah, any temper at all. But it's a very funny thing. I think likability plays into this pretty high. But again, we were talking about what clubs do you normally work out of, Eagle?
New York Comedy Club, LOL, comic strip. Probably like one or two, I'm forgetting.
Yeah, so the thing about, you've had some guys here that have had more experience than at the first place, and they weren't in the mood to take shit from people who had just some more experience, you know? Like, it seems like this would work better for people that have done comedy for like 6 months, where you had a couple who were 6 years, and they weren't interested in dancing. You know what I mean?
I mean, they'd been slightly longer, but it was like the last time I tried to get a good mix of characters.
Yeah.
That were all still on the younger side. Right. But that were all distinct. I mean, like, Eagle's very different than Eric, who's different than Jessica or Hugh.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Right.
Everybody came in. I don't want to give away a returning person, but from what I understand, he didn't even remember the first time he did it with us anyway.
He had no idea.
Yeah.
The returning champion had no memory of ever having done this show. I had to remind him. And then he went back and he was watching the video a few minutes beforehand, and he was like, "Whoa, Rich Voss!"
When I found out he won, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be a weird show."
Now, this is the weird thing. So the audience was very happy to see him.
Yes,
but he did not land in the same place. It has a lot to do with the room, I think, because we changed rooms. And I'd like to do it again fairly soon. We almost were talking about punk rocking this thing at Montreal, just running up, doing it at Montreal.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, because we have that same place that we done on Mass, right?
Oh, yeah.
And just punk rock the thing. And also, you know, we have some people who would be natural judges that are going to be there at the time. But I don't know whether we're going to do it because maybe it's primarily a New York show. We don't know how people are going to feel about this from nicer
they might
places.
feel bad somewhere else.
Some nice Canadians. Or it's like, why are you being mean to this child?
And again, you have to take that Norton point of view of, hey, look who these guys are being recognized by these really funny heavy hitters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not like, how dare you bully bastards, you know? And the judges were hitting each other. There were a couple of lines that got out. But Eagle, I definitely want to see your stand up. I want you to come in and hang with us sometime because I want to hear some of the stories.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be cool.
Just because you're an attractive guy that made Rich Voss feel jealous within By the way, as fun as the thing was that the guys looking at the girls, Voss was not happy.
No, he did not.
No.
My favorite moment of the night was hitting Voss. I was like, oh, I got one on Voss. I won. I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. And the great thing about all those guys, that if it was a good line, they were just like, yay,
yeah, right.
They dug it.
Absolutely.
As well. All right, thank you so much, Eagle. Best of luck with everything.
Having me.
I'm sure we'll see you back here soon. Comedy 101. It's going to air Friday at 8:30. This is on Opie Radio, and it's going to run out all weekend long on Opie Radio. That was Eric. That was Eagle Witt who was with us. He's Eagle Witt at Eagle Witt on Twitter, and we'll put all this up. Now, our next gentleman here, I believe, probably had the set of the night. We didn't treat it like it was a contest, but he pretty much came out, owned the stage, and had a really good time with it. This is Hugh Chatfield. How are you, Hugh?
Happy to be here. Thanks.
Dude, you came out, and you know what I thought was so smart about you? You kind of laid low, let them get your lines off. You showed real timing before you had a line to come back at that. Was it a fun experience for you?
Best night out of my life.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's truthful.
Yeah. Where do you normally work out of?
Stand up New York. Broadway. Clubs downtown.
Yeah.
I roll around because of the creek and the cave.
Yeah.
Wherever I can get up.
So you don't know night by night, and Dan, it goes the same way. You don't know what your sets are going to be most weeks in advance here in New York City?
Like planning out where I'm going to be. I try to plan a couple days ahead because I just feel like that's helpful, because if it's day of, then sometimes you can get lazy with it. But, I mean, on any given night, if you get up early at some place, like, oh, I have time to run and catch and maybe hop on this show or something.
Now, how do you know? Do you just show up, or do you phone ahead, or what do you do?
I mean, at a certain point, you know people who are there or who are running the show. So, if you message somebody, like, is that still going on? Would there be time for you to get a spot there? Or that mic is going to be going late, or whatever it is. So, but that just all comes with time.
Everybody who comes to New York spends years of just hustling around like this.
Yep.
So to bring you up, you in this room now, did you know what to expect when you came out on stage?
Barely.
Yeah, just barely. But to be a stand-up in New York, you have to be ready to play any room at all.
The guys are so sweet. Rich Voss, Dan Kelly.
Yeah.
They made me feel really good.
Yeah.
Because they're paying attention. It's priceless.
Yeah. Well, you have an interesting backstory. You brought it up on stage. You went where to school? Where did you go?
UCLA Theater Department.
Yeah. And you were, your life was moving along until an accident, right?
Yeah. I had a severe brain injury, and I graduated in 85, had a severe brain injury in 87, and that kind of slowed down my career a little bit.
Yeah. But your plan was to be an actor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, everybody's hope.
Sure.
But, I started doing stand-up when I was still in the hospital. And the big problem I've had is that since my brain injury, I've had really hard trouble staying focused and not getting distracted, getting off task, as it were. And so comedy is great. No, look, photography over there. No, like it's been like that for years since the late 80s.
Yeah.
And it was like that. I came to New York to do photography. I was absolutely sure I wanted to do photojournalism. Then I got called into a stand up in New York, and I won. And I go, what? It was unbelievable, really.
So you bring the brain injury into your act, make it part of it.
Yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah,
you're not going to change it.
Yeah,
that's I live with it. It's my life. You're going to do your life. You're going to be who you are.
And that's one of the funny things about stand-up, right, Dan, is that whatever you bring into it is what you have to work with. Because a lot of people are saying, like, oh, a fat guy, he only talks about being fat, or a bald guy only, or why is this Arab guy? But whatever you have, that has to become the step-off place for your career.
Because unlike being an actor, you are yourself. Even if what you're playing is a heightened personality, or you're playing up some aspect of your personality, it's still you, it's your name, and you're standing up there. You can't deny who you are.
Right. And, like, people get on, like, black comics like, oh, he's just talking about being black. But it's like, yeah, he's been that his whole life.
Right.
And that's been a defining part of his experience his entire life in terms of his friends and how he's viewed and treated and everything.
Yeah.
So it would be, silly to never try to acknowledge it.
I always thought that this is the funny thing, because I just did the Unmasked with Big J, who only worked black clubs for the first few years of his life. And his thing was being a white guy, explaining that existence to the black guy. And then he had to cross over to white audiences.
Right.
Which is an hysterical story. But I thought the thing about you is that you were very comfortable in the pocket and maybe had the timing that was best for this show.
And I think Hugh also had the best counterpunch lines.
Right.
We were saying sometimes people, when they fired back, it didn't work in their favor, but I think Hugh figured out a way to do it that, that's sort of some of the biggest laughs, I think.
Oh, yeah, it was a great experience, because the audience, the audience had a certain thing, and you could feel it up front because you never know who's performing what, or anybody's playing a character. But the audience, until you got off that first big laugh, I think had a set of nerves themselves. And then from that point on, it was a magic time.
Well, a big thing for me has been learning to love who I am, love myself, and enjoy my brain injury,
Right.
By my time, people say, oh no, but dude, it's not going anywhere. You're be who you are,
right?
And celebrate it. It sounds dismal and horrible, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna cry? I don't think so.
Yeah. So you that you're gonna have to deal with it every time you go on stage, and you want to own it every time.
That's it.
Yeah. And then and I'd never heard anyone kind of talk about this before. So at the end of the night, you grabs the mic and says, if there's any vets listening of brain injuries, you might think that, life is over, but there's a whole lot more. And I'm like, I've never heard anybody go from that position before. It was kind of fascinating.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is a couple people walked up to me after and was like, "Hey, was that thing Hugh did at the end? Was that scripted?" I'm like, well,
no,
none of this is scripted.
No,
This has all just been a giant, insane night.
Yeah, that was the beauty of it. I don't know why we do it this way, but both times that we did it, I made sure that I didn't meet the young guys before. Right. I don't know whether I should. Maybe it would be easier to tell everybody to chill, because I know that there was a couple people who were like, hey, most people were mad that they didn't get more time.
Right, but I think, maybe the aftershock up front, but then I think reflecting from talking to some people afterwards, they see what a fun, unique experience it is.
Yeah.
Young guys. I'm 56.
At 56, though, here you are. You're dealing with a brain injury. You're saying 56, which is not a lot of people. When you go to New Faces in Montreal, they're looking for guys that are in their early 20s to hook onto. What keeps you moving, though? What keeps you staying in this business?
Love of the audience. I love the audience. Just the feedback from the exchange of energy between the performer and the audience. It reverberates the energy. I mean, okay, I'm not going to get into fancy neurochemistry, but the endorphins, the energy that it generates through your brain, your eyes, and your vocal apparatus, the things that go back and forth between you and the audience laughs, you get good feelings, you think of more stuff, it just comes out.
It is amazing, right? It's a very weird thing. And, I was thinking of this when I went and did the My Wife Hates Me podcast, and we did it kind of later at night, and I had to get up and do the show the next day. And because it was in front of a live audience, I go home and I'm a little more hyped up, and I had trouble sleeping, and I'm like, this annoys the shit out of me. I'm on the radio every goddamn day, right?
Right.
But because you can't hear the people laugh and you're not getting that exchange, it's kind of a one-way direction. But when you do it live, I don't know whether you've ever had this experience before, but if you've got a little bit of a flu or a cold, it clears up while you're on stage, and then you'll come off stage and you might feel sick again.
Right.
But the time on stage, you can go up there with a fever.
Yeah, or just even how nerves change once you actually start doing it, the way you settle into it.
Where it goes from nervous to excitement.
Yeah. The way that shift of energy can happen. And, even for me, it's so much fun for me to go out and do live shows because it's very different than the experience
It's a different experience. Yeah.
So it's so much fun to have that connection from a live audience.
Right.
There's nothing like it.
And especially with bigger shows, there's so much hype going into it, from other people and you yourself, just building up this has to be the best set of my life. But then once you come out and you get the first laugh or whatever, then you can just kind of breathe and be like, oh, I've done this before.
You know what's funny though? Do you ever have this experience? So you get booked to do anything. You're like, this is fucking great. I can't wait. Then as it gets there, you're like, why the hell am I doing this? This is stupid. And then, you know what I mean? Like, no matter what the show is, you're like driving there like, this is going to be, I don't want to really do this. I got so many. And then you'll have that experience and it's great. And then you're like, I got to book another thing pretty quickly.
I don't know why I don't do that more.
Yeah. That's what I'm really good at.
And then it starts up, you never learn from it because then you'll be back in that same position going, why am I doing this again?
It'd be funny to think Seinfeld is heading somewhere. What the fuck? Here I am, Iowa.
The Beacon again.
I don't need this.
Every month, this shit's just staring at me. Same people probably judging me. Have you talked to any doctors about how the brain chemistry changes and way it might be beneficial? Because that could be fascinating. Could be a great documentary.
It's complex.
Yeah.
Dopamine, oxytocin, the pituitary gland. I don't have the information in front of me right now, but the exchange of neural impulses and chemicals, and it's really fancy. It's detailed in a way that you can't imagine,
I think one of the things that was the most fun for me is, like I said, the audience, when you came out and started to do his stuff, I think the initial nervous feeling was to protect him, like he shouldn't be here. Maybe he shouldn't do that. And then he immediately showed why he was the exact right guy to be in that position at that moment. That was literally a thrill for me watching that take place.
Thanks.
And same for the judges too. Like the judges didn't hold back. And,
the judges didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't care.
I mean, you want to talk about accepting anyone for who they are? Those judges, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, let me get a chair for you, whatever," and people are fine. People are good. It was a really fun night. Dan, you think everybody is comfortable with the way it turned out?
Totally, yeah. I've talked to all of them since, and just made sure. And yeah, they were all happy about it, and they all said they would love to do it again.
It's interesting. Maybe we should think of some kind of second tier way to do some of these shows, or maybe we just go out and let people, we'll take a night at the Stand or one of those places and just have the All-Stars that have played the show to let them come up and do their actual sets.
Jeopardy champions.
Yeah. You so great to meet you, and man, you had a hell of a night there. It was great to see it.
Loved it.
I'm glad that you said that it was the best night for you too, man. It means a lot to us.
It was sweet. It was really sweet.
That's great. All right, so 8:30 Friday morning, it's Comedy 101. Hugh Chatfield, thank you so much, my friend. You can find his Twitter up at you, and it's _Chatfield. We'll also put that on us, and we'll be right back. Bennington. Bennington Show. We just had the kids from Comedy 101 in. One of them not a kid. Much older than I thought he was.
Yeah, me too.
So there's Hugh Chatfield tomorrow you'll hear him, a guy who deals with brain damage after, bad car accident many years ago. And he's doing stand-up now and goes in, walks that aisle in front of Robert Kelly, Rich Voss, Bonnie McFarlane, all at their peak game, all doing funny lines. See if he's ready to walk among the giants. It's going to be so much fun. Comedy 101 tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. We're going to run it then, and it's going to run on Opie Radio all weekend long. Pretty cool.
I loved talking to those guys and love to hear them. They're such good sports about the whole thing, but it's more like you could see how cool it is to be among those mentors, those like amazing comedians.
Well, some of them just walked in and just went, what the fuck?
I know.
This is too fast. It is really, really fast. There's so many laughs in this. So tomorrow morning, 8:30. Also tomorrow in the afternoon show right here on Raw Dog, we've got Ali Wong, one of the best comedy specials I've ever seen, period. And then a major comedian, one of the real favorites of all of ours. Chris is still saying, don't mention him. Boom.
I'm very excited about it, though.
Are we going to start a hashtag for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should hashtag this shit.
Yeah.
Founder style.
I don't understand the founders, where they're coming from, what they're doing.
This is, they're living in a world, their tweets are short and they're hashtagging and they're snapping 10 seconds at a time.
Dude, I was watching, I don't know which Kardashian. So she's pulled up at a red light, and there's these little white boys, and they got to be like 10 or 11 years old, and they're just hanging in the car, right? And she's like, I'm putting you on Snapchat. And this little white boy goes like this, you snapping us? Because we snapping you. And I'm like, I never knew a white kid like this. And he's just hanging in this celebrity. I don't know. Do you remember what Kardashian?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it yesterday.
Is it Kim?
It's Kourtney.
Kourtney. She is the youngest of the Kardashians?
No.
They have no ages?
They're ageless. But she's the one. Yeah, she's the oldest, I think.
And she's with the she was with the white guy, right?
Yeah, she's done with him now.
She was
He's
once
out the
with
fucking door. Yeah, he had a fucking. He actually needs to make a phone call.
I'm actually snapping you guys right now.
You snapping us? Because we snapping you.
I'm snapping you right now. My sister, Kim, she's so crazy. I was on her Snapchat earlier, and...
Hey, Vito, hashtag Comedy 101. That's going to be it.
That's it. That's the hashtag.
Which post? Somebody's wrote to us that somebody likes a certain post, but I don't know what it was. Oh, that's good. Hashtag Comedy 101. It premieres tomorrow. Very, very excited about it. Should be great.
I'm excited about that, and I'm excited about Ali Wong. I had so much fun at that Unmasked.
Yeah.
I loved the DC experience. It was a bonding time.
All right. Chris DiStefano just liked our post. Buzz is starting, Chris.
All right, Buzz.
That's the buzz. That's the post-show buzz. Buzz is happening.
Everyone's buzzing.
If we can get Vito to snap this, we'll all be buzzing.
Snap the buzz.
Hashtag it.
Hashtag buzz.
Is there a thing where we're wearing bee costumes? Can you do that?
Expense the bee costume.
I can get us bee costume.
Do we have a bee filter that we
That's
can
what
use?
I'm talking about. I meant filter. Because I saw somebody with a strawberry face.
Yeah.
I saw somebody with U.S. flag face.
Hippo face or something.
I didn't see hippo face.
That one really freaked me out.
Really?
Yeah, it was really disturbing.
They're all creepy.
We could be bees and we could be beekeepers. And we're like, the buzz is starting for Comedy 101.
Bees?
Hashtag Comedy 101.
We haven't been, hashtag Comedy 101. It's good. I forgot to do the hashtag.
It's a hashtag world.
All right, Opie and Jimmy just retweeted. We're on our way. The Opie and Jimmy show. Just retweeted.
Thanks for the buzz, Opie and Jimmy.
I don't know who's on that Opie and Jimmy retweet, but they do a hell of a job.
They're on top of it.
But Chris only gave us a like. What good's a like? I need a retweet. I only got that from Gurian because he was mad that somebody liked him instead of retweeting.
You got to retweet.
And he said, a like doesn't do me anything. And I had to say, I have no idea what you're talking about.
See, there's a difference.
I think we we were liking him and not retweeting. I don't know what happened. Buzz, 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 buzz. Okay, are you ready for the buzz?
Yeah.
Gail Ann just retweeted this from the Bennington show.
You didn't know I was going to buzz you, did you?
Buzz is starting, everybody.
Need more buzz.
Bum, bum. Craig Madison.
Craigie, bro.
Hi, Bennington.
Hey, buddy.
Listen, for the Friday show, since Chris has been late for every Friday morning show.
Right, exactly.
The over and under for how many minutes he's going to be late. I say 10 minutes late.
I'll tell you this. Anybody late tomorrow gets a pink slip.
What?
God.
Hold on.
For pinks?
To a brand new Camaro.
Oh, wow.
It's okay.
Okay, dude.
All right. How can a pink slip mean a bad thing and then also a good thing?
That's what we have to work out.
Yeah, you're playing for pinks. That's for
Got
keeps.
another big retweet from Vito. Vito just retweeted. Buzz. The buzz is happening. I'm not going to be doing the buzzing because I think you both are tired. And I think that's going to mean that you're going to oversleep tomorrow.
No, I'm not even. I won't even leave tonight.
I don't like it when you guys are tired and happy because that leads to stupid. Hey, this is the big news. If you are a fan of Westerly Wing, a very big, important show, and then he also did a big movie called the Facebook Movie, and another movie is gone. He had another movie called Who's Going to Watch That Wall? You? It's the man they call Alan Sorkin. Alan Sorkin.
Aaron
Sorkin.
Sorkin.
I'm reading it, Alan, right here. So, Alan Sorkin, that's the way Vito has it written. Look, Alan Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin, now this would be interesting for all you guys. He has set up a thing where he will teach you to write a screenplay. And, I mean, you're taking a guy like this. He's won the Emmy. He's won the Oscar. He's actually even won a Tony. What he hasn't won? The Grammy Award.
He needs the Grammy. How can he get one?
Forget that right now.
Oh.
He's going to teach you how to write a screenplay. What would you pay for this? Try this. $90.
That's it?
That's a steal.
I'm
One-on-one.
doing it.
Good news for you. We just got a big retweet from Hosp.
The buzz continues.
And you know what? I'm going to shine the spotlight on Hosp because I think a lot of times it's important to make your goals public. Hosp said being at that show the other night made him think he wants to try stand-up. And I'm like, dude, put your goals out there. Just say you're going to do it. Say it.
Yeah.
He said he was a little jealous of the people, one in particular that was in the show. Not going to say who, but he says his jealousy that he couldn't even enjoy their good set because his jealousy was through the roof. And Hosp has already been in a porn before.
Wow. So
hold on, good news. We just got a retweet from Everyone Has a Podcast, which has been named the next medium thing in podcasting. It's voted Alberta, Canada's #1 podcast. The buzz is going to
buzz. Thanks for the buzz.
Would you pay $90 to do this second thing?
Absolutely. I would absolutely pay $90 to do it.
Vito, would you?
Oh yeah, I would.
It's 5 hour. It's a 5-hour course, and he takes you all the way through it. It's going to be like Sorkin University. You do it through your home computer system.
Interesting.
I'll be doing it on web TV, which I have hooked up to my television.
Still?
Why get a computer screen when I can just go through web TV?
They give you a keyboard.
Thank you. I've got a keyboard, and it's just great.
It's the best of both worlds, Ron.
Nobody thinks this is a ripoff. No one thinks why would you do this?
No.
You can't teach screenwriting?
No, I think
it would be fun just to see how a professional like that would say, this is what makes a movie a movie. Even, it's like when Vito likes to sit around and watch the extras. And
Oh, yeah, he loves
shit.
the commentary.
Yeah, commentary. This is a guy who's won these awards, but he's got nothing but words in it. I mean, when I make my movie, there'll be less words. My movie's going to have as many words as Conan the Barbarian. You know what I mean? This guy's, mainly it's going to be guys pointing at shit.
Grunt here and there.
Yeah.
I think, the reason that I think it makes sense is because there are formulas to screenwriting.
You think Sorkin uses formulas, though?
I think that he probably uses, he's so dialogue driven, so maybe that's more like what his focus is on.
I have a theory about film. I'm going to share mine, and this isn't going to be for $90. It's going to be for $900. I'm going to say this. Every script you write should have a beginning, middle, and an end.
Really?
You're missing any three of those. Write it down.
I'm going to write that down.
And you're fucking up. Yes.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
What if you just want to go from beginning to end? Do you think that could work?
It could work if you don't want to get your film made.
Okay.
What you're missing is the middle, and that holds the beginning and end together. Yes, Vito. Question.
No, I was just doing that thing where I sit too close to the mic again.
Okay.
Ron, I have a question.
Good.
What
Yes.
if it's just all middle?
Well, what? Back to Vito.
What?
You're sitting you're leaning into your mic. Okay. All middle
All middle.
is great for the middle of the film.
Yeah.
But you got to have that beginning and end to kind of be on either sides of the middle. Have you ever had a submarine sandwich before?
Yes, I have.
Imagine you get it and you don't have the ends. You don't have the beginning of the sandwich and the end
I
of the
want
sandwich.
that crusty end.
Thank you. It's the crusty end. Yes, Gail.
I understand the 3-part system that you're talking about.
3-prong.
Yeah. So what if I did this? Beginning, middle, another beginning. Would that work?
Then the thing is, no one would be able to leave the theater because they would think that a new movie is beginning.
Okay.
The end gives me, and all directors, a place to tell you who did the sound, let you know who did the costuming, who brought food in. We line that up at the end. Yes, Vito.
What if the twist was that there's no twist?
The twist is that there is no twist.
Yeah.
Then that is a no twist. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's no longer even a twist, it's a swerve. Okay?
Okay.
Think of it as a swerve, that you're taking the audience. Like, haven't you ever been out with your family, right? And you're driving in the car. And they're like, oh, boring ride. And you swerve into some trees. Suddenly, everyone's sitting forward. They're excited.
Yeah.
Some of them have lost their teeth. And then you scream back at them. Now you'll fucking pay attention. That's what you're doing with a swerve in your script.
Okay.
Or
Smart.
sides, as I give them out to the actors. I just give the actors sides. Now, you say to yourself, you ever been to a restaurant and you just had sides?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. I like to eat an entree. Or else aren't the sides an entree? So that's, yes, Gail.
I hear you talking about sides, but I've also heard you say that the stakes need to be high. What are these stakes and sides?
Well, a steak, I like to get them from the Midwest. Big, thick, juicy beef steaks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I say steaks, I'm always 100% talking about a beef steak.
All right.
A piece of fish, swordfish. To you, it might be a steak. To me, it's something that swims in the ocean like a can. Back to Gail.
What about a tuna steak?
Exactly. Tuna steak is what? Tuna, right?
Yeah.
Tuna. And, just break that down. Two,
Okay.
meaning that there's two.
Yeah.
And na. Na. So that's na, right? Na. Think of that beat when you're writing. Chris, you had a question.
Going back to sides. What if it was an entree size?
I'm not going to
side?
spend forever talking about sides. If you don't get the side concept by now. Now, you're saying an entree as a side?
A side, yeah.
So you're saying a steak and then a side of steak.
Yes, like a smaller amount of steak.
Remember when we did the tuna?
Yeah.
Tuna?
Yeah.
This is two steak.
Okay.
Two. What else is two? When we say the number two.
Oh, like two, like also like two.
No, but When you go number 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
2,
poop,
yeah.
shit.
What is that?
Shit.
And that's what your script is.
Oh, come on. I mean,
see
this
what
is
you mean.
still in the beginning stages.
Vito, I see you look confused. Let me tell you something when you're confused. Right. You have a fever. Right. You're shitting yourself. Right. There is no excuse to not write. That's the Bennington way. You write. I've started something new. Why I'm writing a script? I'm writing another script. Gail.
What do you do about writer's block?
I write about writer's block. I've got 17 scripts right now called writer's block.
That's a lot.
Okay? But the script gets done. And that's the beauty of it. Now, if you say, how many scripts have you written? I've written over 1,000. How many have I had made? None. I can still consider that writing 1,000 scripts. And I say this all the time. I'd rather write 1,000 scripts than not have written 1,000 scripts. Nah. Yes. Chris, you look confused.
I mean, 1,000 scripts.
Yes.
I haven't gone through one yet.
That's because you're stupid. What you need to do, and you haven't worked the program, for $900, I'll guarantee you'll probably write 1,000 scripts by the time you're done. One of the scripts that I forgot to tell you I even wrote was called Goodfellas.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was on TV. I just sat there typing along with everything that was on. And by the time I had fucking finished, I felt like I'd written one of the best true crime stories of all time. Goodfellas.
Ron?
Yes.
All right, there's the beginning, the middle, the end.
Oh my God, yes, there is.
What if
Chris,
there's an
we've said it
epilogue?
time and time
What if
again.
there's an epilogue?
Is this
It comes
are
after
you
the
writing a novel? Because if you want to write a novel, go out and don't sell a fucking novel. Rather than become a big fucking scriptwriter like me, Sorkin, and 2 other motherfuckers. Yes, Gail.
How important is character backstory?
Not at all. It's not important. I've never watched a film that I've ever sat there and I'm like, who is that person? Where did he come from? I just immediately accept him. And why do we accept him so quickly? Because he's in the
movie.
In the movie.
Yeah.
If someone's in the movie, we know they belong there. Okay?
You're right.
So if a cartoon dog just showed up in The Godfather, you're like, well, I guess this is the way things work. Because there it is in the movie. Never edit. Never rewrite. That's for what?
Losers?
Or, what's another one for losers?
Assholes?
And another word for that?
Jerk off?
Stanley's.
Oh.
Always,
Stanley.
it comes under the Stanley thing. Stanley's steamer as to shit. And we'll receive shit from another.
Seems very specific
Back
to
to
me.
me too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Good news right here. Stephen Knight has retweeted the hashtag. The buzz is starting to get love.
Thanks for the buzz.
We got Stephen Knight on our side.
Thank God.
Yes, Vito.
What about the flashback technique in film?
Well, when you flash back, when is it happening? It's happening now, right?
Yes.
So it's still now. It's not even a flashback if you're seeing it now. And I will, watching any film, if there's a flashback, I'll yell out, it's happening now. Because when memory takes place, it takes place in the present. It doesn't take place in the what?
Past.
Or future.
Or what? What am I looking for?
Present.
Pudding. It doesn't take place in pudding.
write
It
that
takes place in the present. Now, what's another time that we get present?
Christmas.
And?
Our birthdays.
Right. And whose birthday is Christmas?
Jesus.
Right. So that's what you're doing at all times. You're writing for and about and to Jesus.
It all comes back to Jesus.
Did it ever leave Jesus?
I thought, no.
Yeah, you thought. Thinking is what's gotten you in trouble, Stanley. Thinking is what's gotten you in trouble. So this is worth $900 per session.
How many sessions?
Probably 60.
Wow.
With you, I'm going to probably say 75.
I'm gonna get out my
You're going to go
checkbook.
and throw out the summer. Checkbook, what year is this?
Can I PayPal you this?
And believe me, every person who takes this is going to win an Oscar. Everyone.
That's a guarantee?
It's a 100% guarantee. That's the Bennington guarantee.
Excuse me, Ron?
Look, I think we're past that. You can call me Mr. Bennington.
Mr. Bennington?
Bennington?
Can I apply this to TV writing as well?
Sure, if you want to fucking take caviar and fucking rub it all over a dog's ass. TV is for fucking hacks. I'm talking about film. Actual film business, not fucking TV. TV's pissing into a fucking wind. And I don't do that because the piss will end up back on me.
Well, I don't want to be covered in my own piss or other people's.
Then why do you stench from it? Seriously. Now, I'm writing an adaptation of another movie.
What movie?
It's called Terminator. And, but this, now, I'm starting this with a twist.
Yeah.
In this one, a human goes back in time to kill a robot.
Oh my God. It's brilliant.
Yeah. And that's where they fucked up the first time, is they had the robots trying to kill humans. Who wants to see that? Everybody wants to see a machine get smashed.
Because we hate them.
You hate them. I'm just saying it as a way to protect the what?
The race? Human race?
Future.
Oh.
You know what? If there was a human race, you'd probably have a fucking stitch in your side and you'd be over drinking water. I think we're just getting ready to wrap this one up. Does everybody feel like they got enough out of the next day?
I feel like I've learned so much.
All right, I'm going to pass around a barrelhead. Everybody lay $900 down on it.
Okay.
Because I got to make some what?
Money?
Because I got to get what?
Paid.
I got to get paid.
Gots to.
I got to make those dollars.
We're going to make the paper.
Yeah.
Make them coins.
Yeah, I like to make them coins.
Skrilla.
What?
No.
Skrilla.
That's Skrillex. So there you have it, folks. Boom, boom, boom. That's it for us. We're in very, very early tomorrow morning, okay? I think we're going to be in here at 3 a.m.
7.
Okay, you go on the air at 7 a.m. I need 4 hours to prep for that show.
I'll be there then, Ron.
Yeah. Oh, I got a new opening for the show, too.
What's that?
Good morning, Vietnam! I'm going to do that because this is about film. And you can't... Coach, you coming in to learn? Come on in.
Come on.
Come on in, Coach. Coach, you've never had the opportunity yet to let everybody... Yeah, you're really going for raccoon eyes there, right? You've never had the opportunity to say, we'll see you again. We'll see you all again in 1974. I think today's your day to do that. Are you ready?
Wait, what am I saying?
We're going to just say, that's the end of our show today. See you tomorrow. Here's what you're going to say. We're going to see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock, but at 7 o'clock, we're just going to be having fun. Then 8:30, we start Comedy 101. Then later we'll be back in the afternoon for a special guest that Chris won't announce, as well as our Unmasked with Ali Wong. Be there for that. It's hashtag Comedy 101. And we'll see everybody again in 1974.
Everything you just said.
Come on, just go for it.
Replay.
You want to be in this business?
Okay.
It's the radio business.
We'll be in tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Lots of fun, goofy stuff.
Goofy stuff. Hurts.
What was next?
Comedy
101 will be aired tomorrow at 8 a.m.
with our special guest judges.
Their special guest judges,
That's
Bonnie McFarlane, Rich Voss, and Bobby
Kelly.
Kelly.
And then back at noon.
And back at noon, Bennington Show with the Ali Wong Unmasked.
Yes. And we will.
And
we will see
you there in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!